Good morning. Sorry, I'm reading messages.
Morning.
I'm well away, honestly. With my brain today. Welcome to live shopping here at Highlight Crafts. We've got David and his 23 inches today.
I know, right? It's grown.
Huge. Doubled in size. Rice papers we've been talking about. First time ever we are bringing you printed A2 rice papers. How exciting is this? David, we've got a 2-hour special. So we can show lots of different techniques.
Yes.
I've seen these. I haven't seen these yet. So my oohs and coos will be genuine because I haven't seen them. And I know they're going to be added to my shopping list. So now we print these here, don't we? At Highlight Crafts. So you can put water on them and they will not bleed. We print them on our big, massive fabric printing machines that we've got in the warehouse. I stood there for about 5 minutes yesterday just watching this go backwards and forwards to lay this colour down.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. So first of all, let me introduce you to the team. We've got our lovely Sophie on cameras. We've got Amber producing. We'll have to go. Hello. She's just nipped out. And we've got David as your demonstrator for the next 2 hours, which is super
sorry
exciting.
guys.
Don't be silly. Right, first of all, where can you watch us? Well, you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and on our website, which is highlightcrafts.com. If you're going to shop with us on either Facebook or Instagram, this is how it works. So we show you a product and the product will have a code, and all you need to do is type shop and then the code into the comments underneath the video, okay? Super easy, so you shop while you watch. That pops it into a basket for you. You then get a message to your social media inbox, and in that message there is a link. So when you're ready to check out, you're going to click that link and that will take you to the website where you're going to log into your account. It's really important that you log in because then you get your club benefits, extra discount, loyalty points, and on a basket spend over £35 you get free shipping. However, we also have these digitally, so you could literally be printing these off as soon as you've paid for them and checked out that basket. If you want to shop with us directly on highlightcrafts.com, you can do so. So you literally go onto the website, click watch live, the stream will start, so the video will start playing, and then all the items or products for that show will appear down the right hand side of your screen. All you need to do then is literally click the ones that you wish to add to basket, and they will then appear in a little red shopping bag at the top of your screen. Click on that shopping bag, that will take you through login and checkout. Now you can also shop ahead, so if you're going out for the afternoon and you don't want to miss anything, go on to highlightcrafts.com and there's a banner at the top that says shop today's deals, and you're literally going to click on that and it opens all the deals in all of the shows today, which is super fabulous. So you can build that basket spend, which is great. Right, my lovely. Shall we show?
Shall we show?
Shall we show these 23 inches?
Let's do it. So in the brand new designs, we've got 2 bundles of rice paper printed. They're brand new, but we also have them as a download as well for you. What we could do first is quickly share with you the download, because you can get this in your basket, because that's something that, of course, you can add at any point during the show.
Yep.
We can't sell out of a download, but of course the stock that we have at the moment printed of these, you're going to want to get those in as well.
Yes, you are.
So the download for you is brand new, never seen before, all new artwork. This isn't something that's been reimagined. This isn't something that reworked from the archive. It's all brand new artwork. But in total on here, you're actually getting 60 designs.
Wow.
Which is the biggest rice paper download we have ever done.
Okay. Good grief.
So in the previous months, we've done our sets of 50. We've done some of our 24 sets as well. So this is an all brand new content range. Now, it's flawless. It's good, isn't it? Just tremendous.
Oh, I need this in my life.
No, you'll actually notice that there's about 8 of these that have been picked out for the large A2 designs. That's where these have been taken from. So you'll notice them through in your download, which means they're never going to become a consumable. Nope. We can still print, of course, different sizes onto different substrates. But look at all of this in here. Okay, so you have got 60 of these designs. They are magnificent. The most beautiful papers that have ever come out of this building.
I agree.
They're gorgeous.
Sublimation with these
will my word.
Look phenomenal. On your MDF, these are going to look phenomenal. On your card blanks, don't forget, you don't have to use them on rice paper. You can print them on all those different mediums. Imagine these printed onto a holographic sticker sheet.
Oh, they'd look immaculate.
So there's loads and loads of different things. Now I'm going to give you the price, 50 pence per
Yes.
design is what you're paying. Shop download, you're getting 60 of them for $29.99. Shop download. Now that is before your club discount. Then you'll get your points back and get that basket. Well, on this one, it doesn't matter because it's a download, so you're not paying postage for it anyway. But look at these on cards.
So you can see
exquisite?
The design where it's taken into a card
Lovely.
project. It's entirely up to you how you want to craft with these. It really is your own personal way, your own creativity, your own flair, but they're designed as rice papers, which means you've got that depth of detail, you've got that additional design element to this. It's not just a flat surface, you've got texture and a series of layers. If you could visualize a rice paper laying flat with all of the layers like chipboard pieces, it'd be like this thick.
Yeah.
They're all topped on one another and perfectly balanced and also composed with colour to harmonise with each other. Now, you'll find that through here, it is, of course, very strong in a floral theme, but you've got script, texture, you've got windows, architecture, you've got wisteria tumbling around window frames, then featuring with roses rambling around it. It is honestly so picturesque. Now, I'm going to say one of the hardest decisions or choices I've ever had to make as a crafter was then choosing 8 of these for you as printed designs. Now, if there is a high demand of a certain one, then I don't know. Maybe we could look into that, okay? But this is what we've got, and it is unbelievable. So, 60 designs for you.
That's my favourite.
Do you love this one?
I love that.
It's so knocked
and I love
back.
that. Those two are my favourites.
Okay, well.
Until I look deeper into them and then find another one. I love that one.
Okay, so this is one of them.
Love that.
And we've got the peacock. Honestly, it is tremendous. The amount of content in here is unbelievable. And for 60 designs, that is a cracking price.
It is, absolutely. 50 pence.
We're going to have a look at these.
A piece of artwork of that quality. Shop download, $29.99.
So to start off with, these are your A2 printed rice papers. So in each bundle, you're going to get 4 rice papers.
Let me pull that one out from underneath, then you can see it.
Look at this, they are huge, okay? So we're talking furniture, we're talking tabletops, cushion covers, pillowcases, t-shirts, tote bags, garments, drawer fronts. If I then just turn this one around so you can see the ship there at the front as well. Look at that. Imagine this on a cupboard door. It's going to look amazing.
Do you know what? I'd just go out and buy some of those big clip frames.
Oh, yeah.
And put them up as pieces of artwork.
You could do prints for your
wall.
Aren't
they?
Buy a really cheap, inexpensive frame from a charity shop and put crackle glaze over the top of it, rub some ink into it, some waxes onto it. You've got what looks like a master's oil painting that you've created in seconds.
David. Right, so that's your...
This one's your vintage.
Shop vintage.
And this comes from the Vintagely Valiant collection, which launched on Saturday. So we wanted to choose 4 from that one because it was incredibly popular. 4 that are going to be your super enlarged designs.
Aren't they?
I love this one that you've got that's just for showing us there. Look at that. I mean, wow. Look at all of these. The shells look like flowers.
Isn't that amazing? A2 rice papers that are printed for you, so you're not going to get any of the ink bleed. And then look at that. These are absolutely gorgeous. Right, it's okay. This might be a really random question.
No, not at all.
Could I put these on a shower screen?
Yes, you could do.
And seal it?
Yeah, if you use the Magic Bond and seal dishwasher safe, yes, you could put them on a shower screen. The reason why I opted for this design out of all the ones I could choose from was because it's made in panels.
Yeah, I love it.
So you can cut this down into strips and have a slight separation between it on furniture, so it makes the design even go further than it has initially been designed for.
This would look great on that storage box we had on yesterday, the K-row.
I know.
Wouldn't it?
It would look so
just
good.
The right colours.
I've got a piece of furniture just on that table.
Have you nicked that out of creative? David, wait, does anybody know? No, they don't.
I've gone to the top of the chain, Mel. I have, trust me.
Have you?
No.
Trust me, no.
No, I have. It's fine. Don't worry. No one else is watching. So we've got a piece of... I haven't. So I've got a piece of furniture here as well. I might have done. And it's got three drawers, okay? This, I want to transform the front of it. It is a bog standard piece of office furniture, okay? Now, you can get a pine set of chest of drawers in a charity shop for £5. Honestly, they're practically giving them away. You can upcycle these. Whether you want to resell afterwards, why not? It's something you could do. You list them on all of those, online shopping places, that sort of stuff, marketplace. You can actually make a really good profit. But if you just want to do it for the joy of craft, why not? But that there is your Vintagely Valiant.
Okay, so shop vintage, $19.99 before your club discount. That's £5 for an A2 rice paper that's printed for you. David, that's crazy value for money.
It's unheard of. It's unheard of. It's also, I'm going to say, I've never seen any rice papers of this scale at that price.
Never.
You look around at some of the brands and companies that are out there, for A3, they're paying anywhere between £34 to £40 for an A2 paper, for a decoupage sheet. That's putting it into perspective for you.
Stunning.
I mean, look at that print.
Absolutely.
Now, if you want to jazz these up, we've got all of the embossing powders and gilding flakes on the show, and I'm going to show you how you can then elevate these for gilded papers. If you were to buy an A2 gilded rice paper, it would probably be one of the most expensive pieces of paper you would ever buy, but you can do it for a couple of quid.
These are going my cupboard doors in my kitchen. Oh,
look at that. So
that's just beautiful. I want that as a duvet cover, please.
I know.
Right.
But how nice would it be just to buy a white bedspread or a white duvet cover and then the pillowcase in this?
I love it.
Or maybe one of the accent cushions. It's going to look beautiful. These are colour fast, so the colours don't run. They're waterproof, weatherproof, machine washable and dishwasher safe.
That is stunning.
Yeah, think of how many glass plates you're going to get out of this.
Absolutely.
You get about 20 coasters out of it, if not more.
I adore that.
So that's the first two within your next series. Now these are new designs, remember? So that's your first two and then your second two. So in this bundle you're getting 4 A2 designs, okay? Then we've got the vintage butterflies.
Oh, I love that too.
This, cascading up that chest of drawers front, is going to look unreal.
Wow.
I know, it's just, and that could be an apron as well. That could be cut out and decoupage onto an apron.
Yeah, it could, or a tote bag.
All of that, and then,
I love that.
look at that. So the birds, really wanted to capture the birds in here, and these were the crispest, most detailed imagery of the birds in the collection, and I thought these just have to be in there, they have to be included. And these are so striking, and a little bit of gilding just on their wings. It makes you like weep, doesn't it, when you see them? Because they're just so good. And we've never done this. This has never been done before.
I think you need to take these to Cadence.
I know. I was thinking this. I've got to.
Show them what we're doing. This, I've changed my new favourite. That is absolutely delightful.
It's the colours, isn't it?
It's just very feminine, very soft, very gentle, but layer on layer on layer on layer of design. And I love the colours in the blues and the pinks. They just blend perfectly together, don't they?
But
what
£5.
a stunning piece of artwork for £5 for that.
A2 sheet.
Before you discount.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Honestly, it's bonkers. That price is crazy.
Absolutely glorious, David.
Okay, so that's your first bundle of the brand new designs.
Dream.
The second brand new design bundle for you. Are we ready? Are we ready?
I'm not ready. I'm getting
too excited.
My shopping list is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Quite literally.
I don't care because I can't take it with me, and I love this.
Look at the hydrangeas.
Wow.
This has been super exposed, but also the key detail has not been lost.
No.
It's not been compromised. There's no blur, there's no buzz, there's no fade.
The leaf at the bottom, how it just gets that distress finish in it. Even the little details here where you've got the layer on layer on layer on layer, all that script down the side. This looks like you're pulling off a piece of wallpaper or sanding back paint, and you're seeing all the history of what's behind this rice paper. That is absolutely glorious. I can use my hot foil pen.
Yes, you can use your Craftmaster hot foil pen. Right. Do you want to see the other side?
Yes, please.
Oh my gosh, look at these. They are just an actual dream. Now, as a crafter, being a big collector of rice papers, I've only ever had in my stash, I think, 1 or 2 A2 designs, and I paid a lot for them. I've actually saved them because, you know, I was too reluctant on where I was going to use, because they were the only ones I got, and they were really expensive. But for £5, that's a bargain, absolute bargain. You can stamp onto these, stencil onto them first as well if you want to. But remember, all of those surfaces that we share with you on a daily basis,
these are incredible, aren't they?
Yeah, and honestly, the price...
The price is just ridiculously good because we print it in-house. We've got, obviously, the costs that go along with that, but we can pass on the savings that we're making to you. That's just...
It's magnificent. Honestly, the peacock, it is magnificent. It's spectacular, and they're captivating. They make you stop and think.
Foil and I need these on my show tomorrow when I've got the light board and Craftmaster foil pen, because these are gorgeous. Just going around the eyes of all of those feathers, a little bit of that accent foil is just going to switch it up. But also your metal leaf.
Oh, your metal leaf. Well, that's what we're going to do during the show. I'm going to show you how to gild them.
Yeah.
The purples had to come into the story. So we've tried to also capture every colour that we could see throughout the designs, which I thought was really important because then nobody has a colour that they're not fond of being included. So this one here has your lupins in there. You've got these wonderful large pansy flowers as well, and the ruffles of the peonies. And then again, you've got the script, the texture, the foliage. The whole design concept as it comes together, though.
Amazing.
I mean, imagine either one of these being on a cupboard door, a wardrobe door.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
But as you said, just frame them.
Yeah.
They are pieces of art.
Yeah, they are absolutely stunningly beautiful.
And you won't have got these designs in your collection. If you sat there thinking,
Brand
I might have
new?
already got these, I could print them. You haven't.
You haven't. And not A2 either.
Oh, no.
Imagine if you do art journals and things like that, those on the cover of a book, 'cause sometimes you use big sketchbooks, don't you?
Definitely.
They would look stunning. But those storage boxes from yesterday,
they look amazing.
with those on, are just a piece
they're
of
so
art.
fitting, isn't it?
Oh, stunning.
I'm just going to grab one I've gilded of this one. Okay.
Oh.
So let's have a little look, shall we?
Were these the time for tea ones?
These are time for tea, indeed, yes. So with these ones,
But we've done them bigger.
we've done them bigger for you. So time for tea, we've now got them, the chosen designs, as A2 as well. Look at that. Isn't that just spectacular?
It's just incredible.
Placemats, dining table placemats
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
They're going to look gorgeous, but all of the detail is still captured within the design. But now you can make it look like a proper enamelled china cup. You know, you can go in with your gilding and really bring out the detail. And actually, I find it easier to work with larger scale projects because you can be more creative,
Yes,
you can be more expressive
more
with your work.
space.
Now this one, I've then done some gilding with it. So you can see, like on the flowers here, gone in with the embossing powders.
Cool.
And then onto the florals, picked out the detail as
So
well.
what did you use for the base underneath the embossing powder, please?
So metal leaf Mixion.
Oh, yeah.
Which means you can paint. So if you use a glue, that's fine, but then you have to emboss it and then pour it off as you go. Whereas with metal leaf Mixion, it will dry tacky.
Yeah.
So you can do the whole design and then emboss it all in one.
Brilliant, that.
So
isn't it?
yeah, you've got the ability to then add this massive, and then again, this is permanent on the rice paper. It doesn't scorch or burn the rice paper either. It will withstand the temperature, which is a massive attribute to the designs and the paper itself. But then that's going to be fully flexible. You can use this still on fabric, all of those different surfaces, and it's permanent on there. And you've gilded them yourself.
So from that to that, right? How fabulous is that? It's great, isn't it? And what a great way of using embossing powders too, with your Mixion.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Right, okay, so that's your first two in that selection.
And then we have got the architecture.
Aren't these gorgeous?
Look at that colour in there. The wards colour effect of that building alongside all of those flowers just looks...
That's such a pretty design.
It is. I can picture yourself just sat in there.
A little. So there's a place near us called Clitheroe. I mean, as you're walking up the main street, which is on a hill like that, there's a little back alley that's all cobbled. And when you walk in, there's a cafe that looks very similar to that.
Really?
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It is wonderful. And then, of course, we round off with the wonderful sepia and the yellow tones in this magnificent distress paper.
It's fantastic, aren't they? Right, so Shop Vintage will get you the first one. Shop Dream is going to get you the... Which one's his Dream?
So Dream here, bear with me, is the next one is Dream. That's going to be...
That's your Vintage. Is that your Dream?
Yes, this is Dream.
Then you've got your Floral.
Which is here.
Which are those with the peacock? I know we've missed them all up now. I don't know which is which.
This is Floral with your
Shop
peacock.
Floral with the peacock, and Shop Afternoon is going to get you the afternoon tea one. £5 per A2 rice papers. That is incredible value for money, and that's before your discount. I know, right? Isn't that crazy?
A little bit bonkers.
Now, we also do the download for you as well, so you can get it as a digital download. So you can use them for all your card making, your home decor, your paper crafting, your fabric crafting, all of those different designs. A brand new artwork today. You're going to get 60 brand new designs you will never have been seen before, haven't been in the archive. They literally are brand new. Shop download, you're paying 50p per piece of artwork. That's crazy. Shop download, $29.99 will get you that. I think I'd have to go for the download and the 3 new sets.
The 3 new ones, yeah, your Vintage and your Dream and Floral with your download. £5 for an A2 rice paper. I can't stress it enough.
That's crazy.
Is crazy. When we did these designs, I was thinking that for those 4 A4s, we're probably going to be looking at a minimum of $34.99.
Absolutely.
That's where I thought, okay, that's going to be all right. I think that's an okay price. But when Stephanie said, well, I think we can. I was like, what? £5?
Right, grab them.
Yes.
Well, we've got them because, well,
Just
obviously
look
we can keep printing them, but there is that printing process.
Yeah.
So, absolutely glorious, David, is what I would say to those.
Yeah, the best ever.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes we say, oh, it's my favourite. This is where we've worked towards.
Yeah.
This has been the journey. This has
Yeah.
been that introduction to rice paper on a smaller scale, your trinkets, your smaller jars, your embellishments, maybe a little vase or a plate or a coaster in your home. This is now where you get to be the designer at home, and we've really amped up the scale and the process for you without the price going up.
Right, let's go through these items now,
Yes,
David,
okay,
please. So we'll do
right.
Shop Magic first. Oh, right, hang on, we've got a few questions.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, we need to do questions as we go along, I think,
let's do
today.
it.
So
Yeah.
we've got 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right, Pat Dyson said, could you put the A2 rice papers through the A3 foiling machine in with the pocket Stephanie used yesterday to make a bag?
Yeah, don't see why not. Absolutely. I think Stephanie was using some A3 rice papers in some of those. Yeah, so you just need to cut them down, that's all. But yeah, no reason why not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great question.
So Sue Roberts, I know we're all like that this morning, Sue. I thought shabby was my favourite, but vintage has taken its place. I know, right? It's beautiful, isn't it? Right, we've got Wendy Corbett. The rice papers are stunning. May I ask if any Christmas printed rice papers will be coming, please?
All I'm going to say, Wendy, is absolutely yes. Yes, indeed. And it's something we're working on at the moment, Wendy, and I think you're going to love them, okay? Also, in the comments, let us know, would you prefer vintage Christmas or modern Christmas? I've got some ideas for both, okay? But let us know what you would prefer, because you might be able to see both anyway.
I want both.
But, yeah, because I'm vintage Christmas. I love oldie world Christmas, but lots of my other family love a very white, minimalist, crisp Christmas. So if you're crafting for somebody else, that's what you're going to be buying.
Absolutely. Marina Bowen says, question, if I gold foil over these rice papers, can I aquastone them after to seal?
Yes.
She's got a coffee table she wants to start. And
Fabulous.
Pauline says, straight away, vintage Christmas, please. Wendy says, both, please. I know, Wendy, right?
Yeah.
I need both too.
Is it Wendy
Both.
Corbett in the
Both,
comments?
yes.
Yeah, Wendy as well. Loving all your projects on the Cadence group. They look fabulous. They really do. I'm really proud of you. The foiling on top of the rice papers, yes, if you're going to be using your metal leaf mixing with your Gilding flake, absolutely would recommend going in with a sealer. Rice paper on top of a coffee table or any sort of piece of furniture, it's always advised to seal it anyway. It gives you a much longer lasting finish and it's going to be more durable and you can clean it.
With aquastone?
Yeah, aquastone, we've got it on the shelf.
So we do shop varnish. I can't imagine we've got many of these bottles
There
left.
isn't, no, it has been dwindling in stock.
It
I
has.
did ask for it to go on today and I don't know if it's going to be...
How many? 3. We've got 3.
Oh, right. Okay, well, you've been shopping ahead for it this morning because I think there was more than 10.
Shop varnish gets you the 500ml of the aquastone for $39.99 before your club discount, which is just fabulous. Pens have gone.
Oh?
I think they went in the last hour. Yeah, we didn't have many left. Right, so Magic Bond and Seal.
Yes, Magic Bond and Seal kit. It's a firm favourite of ours. They treat this as now as a hero product of Cadence. It's one that we will try to endeavour always to retain in stock for you because it's a consumable, but it's also something that is used every time you're crafting with rice paper and other mediums. It's a 5-piece box set. So if you're going for your rice papers or your download today and you're going to be wanting to work in the world of rice papers or napkins or tissue paper, this is going to serve you well. 5 different adhesives in here. I'm going to talk you through these in depth even further at demo as I do actually use them. You've got a gloss, a matte, a dishwasher safe, a machine washable fabric and an antiquing one. That means you've got 5 different surfaces, 5 different purposes and 5 different reasons to have this box kit within your stash for an incredible price. Because decoupage glue that is machine washable, if you buy that independently from other places, regardless of whatever brand it is, you can pay well over £10 to £15.
Absolutely. Right, so Shop Magic.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm trying to read and
no,
talk
you wrote
at the same
sorry.
time.
Yeah.
That's not good. Shop Magic, $14.99.
Great price.
Right, next one. Matte decoupage glue.
Yeah, so this one here is also what we call a hero product. Quite a few of them are on today's show actually because they're so fundamental. But this is the 90mm matte glue. It's the one that we first started ever working with alongside Cadence. Now, Cadence formulated this glue to be super silky, super smooth and matte on appearance, which meant that if you were a first-time crafter with rice paper and you're going onto a tabletop, a coaster, a wooden surface or a metal surface or even glass, you don't see the glue when it's dried. So if you've got a bit going over the edge, it's fully transparent. Obviously, unless it's a big blob of glue, you'll get some depth there. but it is fully transparent on appearance. It dries incredibly quick, in about 10 minutes. It's room temperature, is dry. Speed it up with a hairdryer as well. But if you want your projects to be waterproof, just aquastone them or use, of course, your dishwasher safe.
Perfect. Okay, so Shop Glue will get you that one for $5.99.
That's a really good price.
Right.
Yeah.
Fabric decoupage glue next, 120 mils in this one. Shop Fabric, $8.99.
So fabric decoupage glue, completely different in consistency. This is your larger bottle of what is within here, your box set. Now this has a rubberizing compound in it which makes your rice papers flexible. It almost gives it a vinyl touch surface, so it's completely washable at 30 degrees in the washing machine. Fully weatherproof. It's crack resistant as well on footwear, so canvas plimsolls and things like that you can decoupage on. Also as well with this, you want to heat set it with a dry iron to make sure it's fully bonded to the surface. But this works exquisitely with all of those, soft furnishings, soft surfaces. But your fabric decoupage is where it's at. Honestly, it's amazing stuff. Different consistency, dries fully clear though as well.
Okay, perfect. That one is Shop Fabric, $8.99. Right, shall we talk about these embossing powders?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because these are a cracking deal. So we worked in conjunction with, in my opinion, the best embossing powder manufacturer in the country, which is Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly that. Wow.
Yes.
And these are super fine, aren't they?
They are. Well, initially when we first sourced these, we were speaking with Wow, and we have a product called Cadence Marble Spray. And I thought of a process where if you spritzed anything with marble spray, where you get these ultra hairline, fine marble markings, and then could you emboss them? And they said yes, but you're going to need a really fine embossing powder to achieve that. Anything that's, the width of a standard embossing powder, it's not going to work. It needs to be like dust. Well, that's what the melting highlights are for. But they also work exquisitely well with rice paper and detail design across other things as well. But there's 4 pots inside here. It goes such a long way. 4 of them, I'd pay that for the gold that's in there, because that gold, look at it.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's polished gold as well, so it looks though it's literally been sealed and polished like it is actual gold. It's amazing. But you're going to get the 4 in there. You've got a copper, a silver, a rose gold and a polished gold.
Absolutely. So all 4 of them, this is a cracking price as well for Wow powders. Shop Melt, $15.99 is going to get you all 4.
Crazy.
Even if you buy those and allocate them to your rice papers.
Oh, absolutely.
They're going to be a dream.
Stock it up on embossing powder. And Wow is actually the distributor of very well-known cards in the industry who use that embossed detail. They are an industry standard and they're one that's not been beaten, so I would definitely consider it.
Okay, now we've got a bundle for you. Shop Mono is going to get you the black and the white hybrid acrylic from Cadence.
It is. So your hybrid paints, of course, these are going to be adaptable for multi-surface use, so glassware, fabric, metal, concrete, grey board, terracotta, perspex, acrylic, whatever you want to paint, these will stick to it. Fully waterproof, machine washable and dishwasher safe and fade resistant. They're also, of course, they're not temperature sensitive, so they'll go through the frost as well as the hot summers as well, so you can leave them out all year round. I've chosen to add the black and white to the show for you because if you want to prime a surface and give it a base coat, the acrylic is a great one, of course, if you're going to go into glass and things like that. Alternatively, for anything else, you can use gesso. But also the black one as well, it is great for adding highlights of depth, okay? So you're going to be able to add a striking finish to it. Also, they're the perfect combination to go for if you're going to be using them with colour.
Fantastic. Right, David, what else on this counter is essential that we go to before you go into demo?
Right,
please?
okay.
Or the back.
Oh, my
loads
goodness.
of stuff on the back. Look at this.
I know.
I can't reach that to get it down. I did it the other day and they all just went like that. But,
Leaning tower of boxes. To be honest, we will come back, but I think it's really important as well. The metal leaf mixer, you may have just seen a snapshot of that during Stephanie's hour with yourself, Mel, but really important to get that into your basket if you've not already got so. It lasts a very long time. It is a consumable, but you'll hardly ever get through it.
So shop Mixion, make sure you check your spelling because we've had lots of minions.
Lots of minions.
Recently, M-I-X-I-O-N, so mix and then ion.
Yeah.
Right. Shall we go on?
Yeah, should we start? What we're going to do and what I'd love to be able to share with you during the show is that I'm going to do a piece of furniture. We're going to gild and decorate our rice papers. I've also got a side table that I'd like to complete and paint for you.
Yeah.
And for the first time ever during a show, actually get a piece of furniture done. I know. And also we're going to be decoupaging our lampshades as well. So with that fabric decoupage glue, any lampshade, you can then create your very own translucent shaded finish with rice paper. So it'd be nice to do some different things.
Imagine everything. you know, everything in your room just coordinating together. That's going to look absolutely fantastic, isn't it? I
really
love this. And I love that we've got 2 hours so we can really get into that nitty gritty. We will come back and forwards to the counter to give David time to set up, but we've got some fantastic products. And those rice papers, I can't stress enough. You go online now and have a look at the price of A2 printed rice papers of this quality. They'll be a lot more than £5 each, I'll tell you that. So we'll recap that in a little while. But in the meantime, David's going to fight with 2 of them, aren't you?
I am
That's
indeed.
46 inches when you put that lot together, David.
I know, right?
That's a lot to contend with.
Believe me. Right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to divide the papers. Now, you'll also notice that with each and every one of your A2 designs, you will have a border perimeter that wraps around the entire design from both ends. So you never have a design that will join to one another, meaning you've got to sacrifice a bit of paper. You can utilise the entire print, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my scissors and just cut between the two. Now, for the project I'm going to do, you're going to want your embossing powders, you're going to want your metal leaf mixing. You're also going to want some decoupage glue. I'd suggest going for the matte because I'm doing some furniture. And if you want to add a glossy finish, that Cadence Aquastone varnish is the one to go for. And there's only 3 left in stock. They are dwindling, okay? And with that 3 left in stock, that's all of the stock we have to this show. And I know lots of you have been actually stocking up on that one. It's brilliant. But it probably will be around about 12 weeks before we get any of that back, if that's okay. So what I'm going to do is just trim off a little bit around the skirt of the paper as well. Any excess that you've got left over like this, hang on to it. You don't need to get rid of it, just keep it, okay? Hang on to all these pieces. They're great for if you want to do some stamping, embossing onto them, stencil onto it. You can do all sorts with those. So always hang on to these pieces. They're precious, okay? And if you ever crease them up, you can just iron them. Talking of ironing papers, if any of your papers throughout your storage, they get creased, what I would always suggest for storing A2 papers is to roll them up, okay? Just like this. So just roll them like that, keep them all together and keep them in something like a Pringles tube. Literally, that's how I would store them. Don't put an elastic band around them because it's going to want to crimp it and you're going to get all creases in there. And then always keep them nicely rolled, almost like drawing paper. And then when you've got it out, it's good to go. If you ever get it creased or it gets all, crinkled, just iron it. Just use a very low setting on your iron and it will withstand it perfectly fine, okay? Not a problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with some gilding. So in my stash of things, I've got my embossing powder and my metal leaf mixing, okay? I'm also just going to grab a little bit of plastic to use as a palette, just a bit of packaging I've got left over. So always using what I've got. I'm going to take some of the metal leaf mixing out onto this piece of packaging, okay? Just going to pop it there and literally hardly use any. Now what I'm also going to do is grab a fine paintbrush, okay? So I only want a nice thin one, don't need anything super chunky. Something like this will do absolutely fine for us. I'm going to pick up some of that metal leaf mixing. Now the reason why I'm using this opposed to decoupage glue is that if I was to paint all of the design in here where I wanted to gild, with glue and then chuck the embossing powders on, by the time I've done, the glue's probably going to be dry. Okay, rice paper's porous. But with this, we can go straight in, just on the top like this. And I'm not being perfect. I am by no means an artist. I am merely just going straight in with the glue to add lines. Okay, so it's achievable for anybody. You can all have a go at this. If you feel like you just want to build up your confidence first, have a go on a piece of scrap rice paper, okay? If you've got your printable ones, have a go on one of those, or even just on the trim down the side, you can have a go on there as well, okay? So I'm just going all the way around, like this, bringing that brush, and I'm using a nice fine brush. This is a brush, I believe is from my detailing set, from my metal leaf collection. So use something that's going to be nice and fine to give you these lovely foiled hairline finishes. So let's take that right into the middle. There we go. And then just going to circulate that through there. There we go. And again, I'm just going on any outer edge. There we go. And I bring that brush back down to the centre. The peaks of the petals. There we go. And bring that one back in. Now in the middle of the flower, I'm not going to be too precious. I'm literally just going to do some dots with my glue. Okay. Some little random dots inside here, super random. And I'm going to show you that this is like gilded. Now, your metal leaf mixing, just keep that inside the brush, inside the mixing, so it keeps the brush wet. And then we get to add our powder. This is the exciting bit. Now, I'm using the polished gold for this one. You could use any colour, but that gold is the favourite of mine. And I think it'll go well with the sepia tones of the paper. Chuck it on. You might think, oh my goodness, you've used the whole pot. That's going to last me 2 seconds. Trust me, it's not. It's going to last far longer than that because it all goes back inside the pot. So all I'm going to do now is grab a piece of paper. Okay, and with that piece of paper, it doesn't have to be anything heavy duty. Just a piece of copy paper. I'm going to fold that in half first.
I know you can all hear me whispering in the background. We just had a chaos with the rice papers,
Oh.
trying to work out which goes with which.
Oh.
Right, so Elaine Barton says, sorry, just had to answer the door. What glue are you using, David, please?
Oh, the Metal Leaf Mixion is the one that I'm using, okay. Elaine.
Shop Mixion, Elaine, we'll get you that for £4.49. I'm whispering about trying to work out which rice paper goes with which.
Oh, could everyone hear you whispering?
Yeah. Right, so Susan White says she's just checked and she's found that they start from £10 to £20 each.
Yes.
You're getting 4 for £19.99. So get them in your baskets and get these checked out because that is incredible.
Yeah, that's honestly, and that just shows you that when you do your research, you can see how much of a deal you're actually getting.
Karen Halbert's just found one for £15.95. Bridget Shepherd's asking when are we getting the Brother Laser printer in? As soon as we can get through the red tape and sign all the agreements and all the documentation and everything else. So as soon as we can, believe you me, Bridget, we will be all over that. Right, David, sorry.
No, never apologise. Right, keep your questions coming, everybody. So I'm going to get my heat gun now. You can see the embossing powder has clung to all of the areas that we chose to work with. Just bringing my heat gun up to temperature. And then we're going to start carrying this over. Now, as soon as you start to see that embossing powder go, you of course move it along, okay? And the rice paper can withstand the heat of the heat gun and also the temperature of that plastic that's now melting on the surface. It is phenomenal, okay? And when you start to see it happen before your eyes, you just instantly think, I've just turned a £5 rice paper into a £40 rice paper in seconds. Here we go. And I bet none of those papers that well, they might have been, but I doubt any of those will have been foiled either. No. The ones that you can find out there in the world. So you can take this all the way around here. There we go. Just make sure to focus it on any other areas. Don't get it too close. Keep a nice, steady distance. And you want to just keep your eye on it as you're doing it. You don't want to focus the heat gun in an area that's not got anything, because it's not going to do anything. It'll just add unnecessary heat. There we are. Finish up any spots that I may have missed. Just going to do the centres, and you've got a little bit there. And it will cool almost instantly. Mel, do you want to come and have a look?
I do, and it also gives you a little bit of a... I'm going to come and sit next to you. Will I be in your way?
At this.
Will I be in your way?
No, not at all.
Come and sit next to you. Oh, that's lovely.
Honestly.
Do you know what? I love the texture.
Yeah.
Because the glue almost bubbles underneath the embossing powder, doesn't it? And it gives you that pitted texture, which is absolutely lovely. And then, because it's almost then, it's like faceted. So it bounces that light off it. I love these. These embossing powders are blinking brilliant.
That, on that surface there, even if you were to buy foiled rice papers, it wouldn't be as good as that.
No.
That's like professional finish, and it's because it's done by hand.
Absolutely.
So if you buy foiled papers, you pay a premium.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do here is I've got this petal. Okay, I'm just going to bring it a bit closer to you so you can see. So this one here, this like cosmos flower, I'm going to then just, it's almost like a giant pink daisy actually.
It's lovely, isn't it?
It's gorgeous. So I'm just going to go in with that Mixion, and again, I'm just going round, but I'm not being super cautious. I'm just following the edges of those petals.
And are these the detail brushes that come with the foil kit?
This one is, mine's got a white tip to it, but yours will be, I think, black tips,
yes.
are they? Yeah, but yes, it's one of those, I think.
Yeah, they are, the brown.
Yeah, this was the first release, but the exact same brush.
See, this is why you need all those different size brushes as well.
Oh.
This is stunning, David, isn't it?
It's one of those things.
Aren't we lucky that we work somewhere where we have these big printers that can print fabric, but also can print rolls of rice paper? We can select the designs that we want and bring them to you guys at home, our family and friends. What a privilege, isn't it?
It's a dream. It absolutely is. And it's unbelievable, not only that we can do that, but we can share it with you all. In such a short space of time, we can turn it around. And then, as well, we can still be able to bring it to you at a price that us as crafters know we would pay as well.
Yeah.
And that's the difference here. It really does make a true difference. And these papers, if we'd bought these to you elsewhere, they would be probably double this price.
Oh, and the rest.
And that is where we are now in a place where we can do these deals for you, and I love that.
And pass the deal on to you as well at home, which is really important. Because if we'd done it, well, we will have done market research. If we'd looked and we found them at £10 each, we could have gone, okay, well, that's an industry standard, let's do that. But no, we don't choose to do that. We want you to get the best products you can at the best price that you can. So while we've got these deals, pop them into your basket and get those baskets checked out. Don't miss out on these embossing powders.
No.
They are fabulous. I mean, I own loads of different embossing powders. Wow, are by far the finest, and it is literally like dust. You get so much in that pot, it's going to last you a long time. But look how, first of all, because it's got those tiny granules in it, it covers every single element of that glue.
It does.
Okay.
It is
and then when you heat it, because the glue that you're using underneath the Mixion bubbles slightly, you get that wonderful, wonderful texture. And if you missed any bits, just do what David's just done. Go back in with your paintbrush and fill it in. But this is a fabulous opportunity. And again, we're adding one more product, as in the embossing powders, that make all those rise papers sing. All the ones that you've got already.
It's the difference, it's the elevation, it's that added touch. So you're not just getting a paper, you're getting a surface for you to add your own imprint onto it. So again, bring it up to temperature, okay, and then go straight to... Now, what I always do, say this while this is off, because I imagine that's quite frustrating to listen to. I'm going to raise the rice paper up off the surface, okay. I'm working onto a self-healing mat for this one. I would advise a glass mat. But because I'm not having it laid flat to here, no heat is actually touching the surface. And the reason why I'm doing that is that when you lift your rice paper up, the heat can instantly pass through. So you've got a bit of aeration, a bit of airflow under here, and it just means that the rice paper doesn't get too hot. So whenever you're doing it, I would be advised to not be inclined to do it like that on your mat. Just hold it up like this, and it's going to be a much better result. And you'll find it actually happens much quicker because it's not fighting against a cool surface. There we go, look at that.
It's just delightful, isn't it? Now, you do need a heat gun for this technique. You can't use a hairdryer because a hairdryer, one, doesn't get hot enough, but it also blows the powder. But this with Mixion is just, and again, another reason for your embossing powders, another one for your rice papers, another one with your Mixion. We bring you products, we try really hard to bring you products that will do a lot of different things because we craft. We're just like you at home. We just happen to be in the right place at the right time and got a job in the industry. But this is now something that you can do in the comfort of your own home.
Definitely.
If you had this manufactured professionally, you'd be looking at doubling the price by adding that little bit of foil on.
Oh, easily.
And instead, you're paying $4.49 for your Mixion and $15.99 for your embossing powders. And they're going to last you a long time. Are you working out how big deep you need it to be?
Yeah, I'm looking and I'm thinking that it's going to be fine. I just didn't want to lose any foil here, but I'm going to probably get my design to start about there. And it's going to stop about there. So what I'm going to do now to finish this off, because I want 3 accents of foil on here. We've got the 2 flowers. And I was hesitating about this flower here, but it's not big enough, okay? And I didn't want it to draw attention to what is a small area of the design. It probably wouldn't make all that much sense. So here on this large butterfly is probably one of the best places to showcase it.
Because you're going to split this in 3, aren't you? On
Absolutely.
Your drawers? So you want one little area on each piece. It's called a design triangle.
Yes,
it's really interesting. If you use symmetry, it creates, you'd see the whole thing in one go.
Yes.
Okay, so the human eye sees symmetry as one thing. When you use odd numbers, your human eye will search for the next element that looks like that one. So for example, when you're looking at this, it'll see the foil flower or the foil butterfly, then it will look for the next one. You don't even realise it's doing it. That's how clever the human body is. But this is now going to give you that metallic element on each one of those drawers. So you're creating that look that people will literally look through the whole design and they'll notice more. Because they're searching, your eye is searching whether you realise it or not. 10% of the embossing powders shop melt are now allocated and in people's baskets. They are, in my opinion, the best embossing powders you can find. And as David was telling you earlier, we wanted them as fine as dust so that it picked up all that little detail in that rice paper. And this is quite a quick process, David.
Oh, it is.
40 minutes in.
And we've only been demoing about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If that. So all over here, and I'm just going to grab A little bit of powder. And I always love this bit because you go, oh my goodness, how
I
much are
know.
you using?
I
That's
know,
crazy.
right?
What a waste.
What a
and then
waste.
it all
And then
just
it all
comes
goes
back.
Yeah.
So let's go underneath here with our card. And then, I'm sorry, this is away from everybody at home, but what I'm actually doing, if I try and tilt it towards, yeah, it's literally just
this is probably the
proper
technique
hiding
that got
from you,
most of us
aren't I?
into crafting in the first place, to be fair. Embossing powder. I remember going up to a show at Harrogate in the big marquee that they had in the field, and I watched this lady for 2.5 hours, stood there just watching her, and she kept looking at me as if to go, are you going to buy anything? I got to the end and I went, right, I need everything you've just used.
Yeah.
She said, what? I went, I need a heat gun, I need embossing powder, I need an ink, I need stamps, I need the card, I need all of it.
The whole lot.
All of it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us probably got to that stage with our crafting. This is probably one of the things that got us involved in the first place.
I reckon so. So all I'm doing now, again, is going to take that and it just...
And have you noticed how quickly it melts?
So fast.
That embossing powder. Normally, we're saying to you, get your heat gun hot first. You don't need to do that with these powders. They start to melt almost instantly because it's super, super fine.
So fine. And I love how, like, literally they are dust. So even those super tiny little specks I've done there, look at those. Isn't that just incredible? So just going to go right up to the peak of that butterfly wing there. And as soon as it does that little bubble, it's melted, okay? It wouldn't be moving unless it wasn't melted. So then you can move on to your next step of your project. Just make sure that all of the area is fully melted, because otherwise it will dust off. But once it is set and it's melted, you've then got that incredible, look at that on that butterfly. That is just a dream to have in your stash. I mean, wow, okay?
Right, okay, we've got a few questions here. So, first of all, let me have a look. I bought the glass coasters a while back. What would be the best way to put rice paper on those? Do you put it on the front or the back? Thank you.
Great question. Great question, Elaine. And when you're working onto a glass coaster, I'll do a glass plate during the show because we've still got another hour after this first one. So I can show you that. And basically you put it underneath the glass. So your glass plate like this, say this is your coaster. You put your glue onto your rice paper and sit the plate on top of the design, and then it shows through the glass like this. It means you can still eat off of here. You can still do all of what you would usually do with a glassware plate, but you're not affecting it. Also, you can do the gilding and then put it behind.
Look at that.
And
How
you still
beautiful
get
is that?
It
Right,
looks amazing,
okay.
right?
So we've had a couple of people say when they get their rice papers, they're folded.
Yes.
That'll be packaging in transit, but you can iron them, right?
Oh yeah, as we were saying, you can iron these flat out. It's absolutely fine. You could scrunch them into a teeny tiny little golf ball sized amount, flatten them out and iron them. But for storing them, of course, you're probably going to find it tricky to find a shelf that wide. Just roll them up nice and gently like this. Give them a little roll so there's no creases. And stack them in a tube, like a Pringles tube, something like that. Or just put a little bit of washi tape just there and just leave them all stood upright or laid flat.
Perfect. Right, so what glue is David using on the rice papers? He's using Mixion. May I ask, if you print your own rice papers and attach to a candle, will it bleed?
If you're printing your own rice papers and you're attaching it to a candle, the process for that is without glue. So you want to heat the candle so the wax actually melts through the rice paper. Now, wax will not allow ink or water to run because it will form a barrier against it, so it should not bleed at all. But you don't want to use glue on your candles because it won't stick. No. It's a wax surface.
So you melt it into it, don't you?
Absolutely.
Right, Charlene says, David, can this technique be with Mixion be done on cardstock?
Yes, it can.
Absolutely, it can.
Indeed.
Anne Godfrey says, a new way of using my embossing powders. I know, right? Tracy Stewart's ordered 2 sets of vintage so she can do a matching bedside cabinets. That's going to look lovely. Dee Cassidy says, hi, Mel and David. In your opinion, which is the best laser printer or inkjet printer to go for? Doesn't matter about the printer. It's about the card that you're printing onto, right?
That's true.
Right, so let's have a look.
But I didn't get an expensive one.
No,
I think that's from a supermarket.
Yeah,
it was about 40 quid.
Yeah. Right, so that's that. Can you use any embossing powders with the Mixion glue?
I'm going to say there's no reason why not.
Nope.
If you just remember, if you're doing a super fine hairline brush stroke, if you've got chunky embossing powder, it might not stick to it in the same way. This one gives you, and the thing is with this, I've got embossing powders that are gold, but they're almost like a matte gold. This is polished gold.
Yep.
So it looks like it's liquid gold.
David, Jane Preston wants to just have a look at the colours of the embossing powders, so I'm just
Cool.
going to go and
Yeah,
do
sure.
that really
I'll get ready
quickly,
for the next bit.
and then David can get ready for the next bit. So shot melt is going to get you your gold. Looks quite matte in here because, of course, once you heat it, that colour goes through. So you're going to get your gold, You're also going to get your rose gold. This is a beautiful colour. So you get your rose gold in there. Again, you don't see the beauty of it until it's actually melted, but you can see in there how fine. You look around the edge of this lid here, look how fine that powder is. It is literally like dust. If you look at that in the lid, it's super, super, super fine. That's how you're getting that delicate finish. Then you've also got your silver. And again, there's lots of tints, tones and shades in these as well. So you'll get a really beautiful finish. So you're getting that one as well. And then finally, and there is 20 mil in each one. So you're getting a lot of powder in here. And then finally, you're going to get your copper metallic in here. Look at that. You can see there all the shimmer and shine in there. That's what comes through when you melt it. But look at the lid. Look how fine that detail is. It's quite extraordinary, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. Shop melt, $15.99. Right, let's do the next bit, and then I want you to come back and let's go through these rice papers again,
sure.
please, because
Okay.
we've got new people joining right the way through the show, so we need to make sure that everybody knows what we've got on today.
Okay then, well that sounds great. What we can do is we can get the rice paper stuck to the front of this chest of drawers, and whilst it's drying we'll recap and come back and then we'll move on to the next step with it. How does that sound? So what I'm going to do is firstly I'm removing all of the hardware from the piece of furniture. So I've taken all the handles off. I'm just removing this one here as well, and I'm saving the handle and the screws in each drawer so I don't lose them.
Lovely.
Okay. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm actually going to be applying the adhesive directly to the front of the furniture. Now there's a few ways in which you can do this. You can apply your adhesive to your paper, but even for an A4 or an A3, if it's a full design, I always choose to go to the surface with the glue. If not, it's a little bit tricky, okay, because then you're trying to actually line it all up and you've got what essentially feels like a huge piece of vinyl.
Yes.
And you're trying to line it up. I remember when we worked in, I know we used to work in the pet shop, and they'd send these huge stickers, they were massive, and they'd have to go like in the entrance of the shop on the floor, and the floor was like lino, and lining them up and sticking them down, it was like you'd be beads of sweat because they'd only send one, and if it went wrong, they'd be like, well, it's gone wrong, it's your fault.
Yeah.
But it was tricky. Now, learning from things like that, always just make it easier for yourself, okay?
Absolutely.
So what I'm going to do is go in with the glue. I'm actually going to do the bottom drawer first, okay? So I'm using a flat brush for this. So I'm just going to push these in whilst I do it. And I've gone straight onto the front side, and I've not used any primer for this because the drawer itself is already painted white, okay? If your furniture was a dark colour, I would suggest going on with a gesso first to prime it. Also the glue, this is like a laminate piece of furniture, so it kind of almost has like a plasticky feel to it. The glue will adhere to this absolutely fine. So I'm going all the way around the front facing side of this drawer, okay? So our first one is pretty much done, but just make sure to go back over and ensure that you've got no big lumps or bumps of adhesive, because they're going to cause a little bit of an issue, okay? Now, I'm aiming to cover each 3 front of these drawers with the same design. So it's going to be in 3s, it's going to be in partitions, but we're going to stick the whole thing on in one go. And then we're going to cut it afterwards because that's the easier way of doing it, believe it or not.
20% of shop melt, the embossing powders are now allocated, and half of the stock of the Mixion is now in people's baskets as well.
Okay. So again, I'm using the matte glue for this one. So if you're thinking, oh, that piece of furniture that's just on my bedside table, or that I've got in the dining room, or that's forgotten about in the conservatory, this is the glue that you're going to want to use for it, okay?
And that is shop glue, and it's $5.99 for 90 mil.
Right, okay, so I'm going to do these 2 drawers first, and then we're going to do the third afterwards when we've started to add our rice paper, just so we can gauge it. And I wouldn't be stood behind it when I'm doing it at home as well.
No, you wouldn't.
I would be stood where you are looking, okay? So I'm just going to spread that nice and smoothly. Now we can move on to the rice paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the base of this with the bottom of that drawer. So I'm going to have it faced forward like this. So the design is currently facing down. Okay, and match it up to the bottom of the drawer, making sure to capture that foiled section. And I'm just going to hold onto the drawer while smoothing it down like this, okay? And then we can feel if we've got any lumps or bumps. And what I'm going to do is start to just gently bring it up, okay, like that. So it's already in place. Now what I'm going to do is open the top drawer and trap it inside, okay?
Yep.
So it's going to stay stuck in there for the moment, so it's not
Fabulous.
constantly hanging forward. Peel this back up and continue to smooth down. We're not using a brush at this point, we're just smoothing it down. You see how that foiled area there on the front of that drawer is just sitting perfectly. Smooth it all down. Now you can use a larger brush. See there, I've just got a crease. Pull it forward and just ever so slightly pull it and pull it taut, and it will get any crease away. Just like that. Now,
Brilliant.
On the bottom here, I've got a bit of a crease going on. We pull the whole thing forward, reposition, and smooth that down. Okay? It's so easy. Anybody can do this. Now, all I'm going to do now is go in with the brush with the adhesive that's still left in there and smooth down all of the top coat. Okay, going over that gilding, going over all of the rice paper, just like this. Okay, and you want to really define those edges as well, make it really nice and smooth. What I'm going to do is do the bottom one. We're going to go into recap and then we'll do the top one.
Yeah,
okay,
perfect.
so I'm just going to quickly smooth this here.
Cheryl is asking, does the colour of the base of the furniture affect the cardstock, affect the result of the image on the rice paper?
Absolutely it does. It's really important to take note of that, and it's a great question. So if you've got your, upside down then, gone a bit light.
You all right?
So if you've got your rice paper onto a light surface, okay, opposed to a dark surface, this is what can happen. So say your piece of furniture is a very dark, like a walnut or a chestnut colour, but we're going to use black as an example. See how I've got that design there on top. At the moment, whilst that rice paper is dry, you can slightly see the design, but as soon as this gets wet, it goes slightly translucent. But if you paint the underneath of this white, look at how all of that colour is instantly brought to the surface.
Okay, so if you've got a piece of pine furniture or oak furniture or mahogany furniture, what would you recommend? Would you recommend gessoing it first, making it white?
For a larger scale piece of furniture like a sideboard, table, anything, gesso it white, okay? Gesso is matte. It's going to form a great key for the glue. It's going to give you an overlasting, better finish. For smaller projects, we want to do it quickly. You could use hybrid acrylic.
Yeah.
But I always say that gesso is the more cost-effective way of doing it, and it's also designed as a primer as well, so it's more fitting for the process.
Brilliant. And we do have the gesso on the show. You get black and white in a
150 ml tub.
150 ml tub. You've got the white and the black gesso, shop gesso, $11.99. You've got to get all the right tools, haven't you?
Yes.
Because once you've got all the right tools and the right glues and the right rice paper and the right gessos, etc., this is when you get these stunning results. 20% of the embossing powder, shop melt, is now allocated, and 50% of the Mixion is also allocated. It looks amazing,
I'm so
David.
excited when it's dry.
I know, it's really cool, isn't it?
So over your gilding, just dust off any excess glue, and when it's dry, of course, it dries transparent, and you're going to see that gilding in different lights. See that at the top? Oh, we've still got that wonderful shimmer and sparkle, and it's still flexible as well. While this dries, should we give everyone a quick recap of the design?
Please.
Do you want to do that? I'll come over and join you if you like.
Absolutely, yes please.
Right.
Right, let's have a look. Now these are brand new, never seen before designs, and these are absolutely stunning. Now you can get them as a download, but we'll go for the rice papers first, and then we'll talk to people that use card making, home decor, all that kind of stuff. These are gorgeous, David, aren't they?
They absolutely are. Now
so this one is shop vintage. You're going to get all 4 designs that David's about to show you for $19.99. You could pay $19.99 for one.
Yes, you could.
These are stunningly beautiful, aren't they? Those in a bathroom. You've got a beautiful bathroom on a wall, on canvases, with all your extra elements on top. Maybe they're going to be in the unit under your sink. You could do, you know, you've got drawers under the sink like that. You could do that as well. So you're getting those two. And then also, how did you choose, David?
Really tricky. So there's architecture, there's scenery, there's colour, there's florals. But look at that. Wouldn't that be great for, I mean, on that bed chest of drawers, that would look amazing.
It would. Bedding box.
Yes, bedding box.
Things like that. But also your storage. If you bought those big boxes from us yesterday, I think the Cairo ones are still available, aren't they? And they're very similar to these colours. So decorate your storage boxes so they look like a piece of furniture rather than just a box that you keep stuff in. These are absolutely stunning, aren't they?
Yeah, it is spectacular. That's your first set of 4 on the show.
That's shop vintage, $19.99. Remember, $19.99 is before you call discount.
Yeah.
I know. Mad that, isn't it?
It sure is.
And then you get your points back.
It's a bit of a silly deal, actually, isn't it, when you think about it?
It's a ridiculous deal, but get it while we've got it in case you change your minds.
Yes.
Just saying.
Now, we go on to your floral collection. This has got your tulips, your peonies, your roses, hydrangeas. That is a design. You just sit and stare at it.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, look at it. Every time I
It's
see it, I see
beautiful.
something different. But I can see where I'm going to
Love
use
this.
it.
I mean, down to the little details down here in that script. And then look at that, the little tiny orchid that's just coming through there. Your peonies down here, your tulip heads, layer on layer on layer on layer of design. It would take, it takes hours to do something like this, doesn't it? And get it right. And these are some of the best designs. That's my favourite.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. The colours in that are just spot on.
Stunning. Absolutely.
Look at the lace.
Stunning.
Inside here as well. It's almost like plaster
It
mouldings
is.
that you've got on there as well. And the
Just
thing is,
incredible.
and one of the real reasons that spurred the idea for this, and it's not just because how exciting is it to have designs this big, it was also because we want to make crafts purposeful as well.
Yes.
Now, A4 rice paper is a staple and it's a great way to start, but sometimes you might think, well, I've got to print 4 designs to be able to cover the front of this drawer, or it's not big enough to wrap around this. Well, having a purposeful design of the right size, you can instantly visualize the project. You can see where it's going to go. You can hold it up, line it up. Oh yeah, that'll work. That's what I did with that.
Imagine having this on your bedding box and then on your cushions, candles with it on, everything coordinating together. I mean, that is just remarkable.
I mean, the highlight of the blue. We're going to use this paper later on, and we're going to gild it, honestly.
Yeah, I love that.
And the iris, it's just standing there on its own. What a wonderful design
reflected
element.
Here. So if we were talking about the rule of threes, weren't we? The design triangle, you've got 1, 2, 3. So as you look at that paper, your eye literally goes across it like that, all the way down, right to the bottom. And you've got those little gold elements in there as well that are picked up there and there and there, and then brought up to the top. You know, it's just
it's
incredible
really clever.
Design.
It is. So that is your next set.
That's Shop Floral, 1999. Your next one after this is Shop Dream.
Yeah, which is the one I'm using right now. And that collection, I mean, that design, it's amazing. This room, it's like proper botany style with all the butterflies, tons of flowers, all the different colours inside there. And then you do also have the ones with the birds on.
Imagine taking Stephanie's painting technique.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh.
Flowers,
That would look so good.
Wouldn't it?
That would look amazing. So that's your first A2s.
Or if you've got a glass top table, one of these set in that. Now I need to go and buy all new furniture.
Well, those coffee tables we've got in Academy, in between all of the...
Yeah.
There's their A2 glass
are.
tops. Oh, I should have got one of those.
Oh, I think you would have been in trouble then.
Maybe.
No, there's no maybe about it, David. You would have been in trouble then. Don't forget, Carl has this on in his office all the time.
He does as well, he does.
Yeah, he does. Right.
So, hydrangeas.
Love that.
Hydrangea design on here. Super enlarged, super imposed, but also incredibly crisp quality of design.
Just impressive, aren't they?
Yeah, spectacular. And as we said, just have these in frames.
Yeah, I would. That's what
Gild them.
Absolutely.
Stencil them. Add anything you want, glaze them, go over the top of it with your aquastone, it'll look like a painting.
It will.
If you paint on top of here with aquastone in like a wishy-washy effect, it'll look like it's got an actual patinaed varnish on it. Do you know, it's got all the brush strokes and layers. Do that with it.
Stunning, won't it?
Look at that one.
There's no more.
You could use that way as well.
Yeah, you could.
No reason why not. I think they're just spectacular.
Glorious, aren't they?
Yep, they are. And that is your third set, which is your dream set.
That's Shop Dream. And then we've got Afternoon.
Afternoon.
Oh, I could do an afternoon tea.
Oh, an afternoon
Scones
tea.
with cream and jam.
Crustless sandwiches.
I could do a toasted sandwich because we've got the toaster that we have in the microwave.
Yeah, I could
And
do
then
a
I could get scones.
Afternoon toasty tea.
Could have scones and jam and cream.
Oh, that's a little bit of a, oh my goodness, yes please.
Right. See if we can make that happen.
Oh yeah, let's have an afternoon tea.
Sure.
Should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Florals, again, florals in just pure abundance for you. And then you've got the cafe with the afternoon tea.
I want to sit there and have my afternoon tea,
I want to sit there and watch the world go by.
Yeah, isn't that just glorious? I love that design.
Yeah.
It's really, it's like somebody's just watercoloured it by hand. It's that pretty. So Shop Afternoon will get you those for $19.99. Oh, Sam's here.
You're producing, Sam. You're producing.
Oh, Louis, get back on the camera. Changing teams halfway through.
Halfway through, we're having a changeover.
Yeah.
But those ones there are your afternoon. And in each bundle, you've got 4 A2 designs, 4 massive pictures for you to work with. Now, if you want to capture some of these in a download, well, you can do, but there's also going to be 60 of them. Brand new for you today.
I'm definitely having this.
Oh, me too. Well, I've got it.
Well, I'm having this and that, and that.
These are just, honestly, it's heaven.
It is.
It's it's craft heaven, this is. This is a brand new download, launching today on this show, never been seen before. You've got 60 brand new designs. That one's interesting.
That's
there you
very
go.
interesting.
And then you've got all of these to craft with. Now you'll notice a couple of these, such as the peacock one that you've got there, is also been taken into the A2s. Only 8 of these have been printed in the A2 designs, so essentially you've got 52 more that you won't have seen yet, but you can print them onto your own rice papers, vellums, acetates, cardstocks, the lot. And honestly, it was the hardest decision of my life trying to pick which ones we could use as A2 designs. I changed it about 100 times and then kind of probably went back to where I started because I chose them for a reason.
Yeah.
But then you've got the wisteria inside these ones. You've got architecture. You've got windows with scenes going through it. So there's depth to the image. You could create a faux window on your wall if you wanted to actually paste them onto your walls. You could do. Look at the storybook here that's been told.
I don't have any words.
Yeah.
They are just spectacularly beautiful. And I think, you know, as a paper crafter, we bring you the MDF with the matching SVG files. If you're a card maker, these are going to be absolutely fabulous. If you want the design smaller, just do more than one on a printed sheet. You know, you can set that at your printer. That is absolutely my favourite. I think it feels like I've walked into a chateau.
Yeah.
That's been left for years and years and years, and start to peel back the paint and the plaster, and there's this kind of design underneath. They're absolutely exquisite, and those two together, along with the blue one that you've got in your printable ones, will just...
Yes, it's that one.
I mean, there's so many that can work together, but they all stand alone individually as well, and they're just incredible design.
They are. I mean, you see something different in every single image. You'll see a slight crossover in some of them. So you might notice, of course, you've got the wonderful blues here in these lupins. And then they kind of do a little mention there as well, but with different flowers. You'll see these roses just going around the corner. Then you see almost like it's been carried on onto a different layer of design as well. You've got the butterflies in blue on here, but then you've also got them down here in colour. So it allows you to not only coordinate, and these are all JPEGs, which means everything that you see right here, take them into Minecraft Studio and change the colours. So you've got any colour that you want.
Wow.
So they're all interchangeable. So essentially you've got 60, change the colour once, you've got 120.
Imagine those embossed with the embossing tool on Minecraft Studio.
Embossing
that
tool.
would work, wouldn't it?
You could do what you could do, if you love these hydrangeas, but then you also really, really like the look and feel of this one, you could cut those out and put them on top of this one on Minecraft Studio and fade the edges down and mould the rice papers together.
Incredible, isn't it? Absolutely tremendous value for money. Right, that's all your rice papers covered off. The glues, etc., we'll do as we go through. I want to talk about this part of the counter here, David, because these are going to be amazing.
The big
Covered
boxes.
with rice papers, stenciled with your Mixi-on glue, and then your metal leaf over the top.
It's a dream.
I mean, they're just glorious.
Well, any bundle of those 4 A2s, you're probably going to be able to cover all of these.
Yes.
So it goes such a long way. The square ones are a great shout for gifts. They look great at Christmas as well. So if you're thinking about those Christmas papers, get these while we've got them. Yeah, they've been really busy since we launched these. This is Shop Square. It's $19.99, and you're going to get inside here 7
of them.
7 boxes now. Go for the teeny titty one. They're super solid.
They are. They're really good quality.
They are, and they're paper mache. When we say that, basically they're made from a hardboard and they're coated in a paper that's been wet with glue. So they dry really solid. It all soaks into there. So you can go on here with your rice papers, your mediums, your paints, your spritzers, your airbrush, whatever you want to use. You can pop these on the surface, stamp onto them as well, stencil the lot. But then inside there you've got 7 different gift boxes, or you've got the most elaborate gift you could ever wish to send somebody for 20 quid.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Well, under 20 quid.
Absolutely. Phenomenal. Right, so we've also got them in round
We do.
circles. Shot round, $19.99. But I just think they're a really nice project. And actually, if you're getting the download and the printed rice papers, you could print your own rice papers from the download and put them on the smaller ones and then save your bigger ones for your bigger projects. So you've got your shop square or shop round. And then we've also got these, which are shallower.
Yes, they
I like
are.
these too. Shop mache.
Shop mache. These ones you get 7 as well. As Mel said, they are shallower designs. So with these ones, they're great for, you know, your chocolates. So maybe you're going to put inside here.
Jewellery.
Jewellery, yeah, all that sort of stuff. Each box being shallower. These ones are taller, so you're going to fill these. I mean, imagine taking the lid off that one and stuffing it with individual rose stems.
Yes, absolutely.
And you've got a sea of roses on the top, but with this one,
Incredible.
you could use it as for your gift cards as well. You could fill it with all of your greeting cards. But again, you know, even the larger ones you can still use for garments, baby grows, that sort of gifting.
And shop mache, 19.99. Now eggs.
Eggs.
Imagine making your own type of look-alike Fabergé eggs.
Fabergé eggs. I saw on the Cadence group quite a few people were doing this, and they look fab. Aquastoned afterwards.
Yep.
They look beautiful.
Yep.
They are divided. When I first read it, I thought they were deviled eggs, but it's divided eggs. I was like, what?
Deviled eggs.
It's deviled eggs. They're divided, so they're in 2 pieces, which means they're easier to decorate, but also you can use something to put inside them. Now, you may have seen the very traditional method of craft, which is actually an art form from many years ago, where you take a goose egg and you carve and hollow the inside out.
I have one at home.
Yeah, I have got one at home as well.
And it's all quilted inside with the fabric.
Oh, really?
I'll bring it in and show you.
We've got 2 lovely guests that come and visit us here at the Academy and at Doncaster, Carol and Gail. And Carol made the eggs. Well, actually, she said I think it was about 40 years ago, some of them. And I loved them until she brought them in. And then I'd left at the end of the day, and she was then coming for another class. And when I came in the next day, there was one on my desk.
Oh.
And I've treasured it. I absolutely love it. It's got a little drawstring on it, and it opens, and it's the most beautiful decorated piece. And you could do something like that with this.
They are incredible, and I love the fact that we've got these in. You're getting 6 of them. Shop egg, 19.99. Right. Next, we have got cut and use foam.
Sponge.
Essential, right?
It is an essential. Cadence cut and use foam. You're going to want to use this with almost every single project. It's a glue and a paint applicator. It's double-sided as well. You've got your high density side, which is your foam. That's your applicator. And of course, this one here is the one that actually allows the paint to travel. So you cut it to any size that you want, mop up your paint with it, and it's going to give you a wonderful smooth coat. It's great with your gesso as well.
Yep.
When you're working with gesso, I never advise to use a brush.
No.
It's a thick paint, so a brush is just going to push it around. If you use a sponge, it's going to give you that wonderful flush finish. So if you're ever thinking with your gesso, sponge.
It's also, the back of it's really good for smoothing out your rice papers too.
Yes, it is. It's great for that one.
Really good.
And also you can heat it up, and when it gets hot, you can push stuff into it and make a stamp.
Yeah, it's fab, isn't it? Right, Shop Foam, we'll get you an A4 sheet of that for $5.99. Shop Nature next is giving us our door plaques.
Yes.
These are rather lovely, aren't they?
You've
now,
got
we've got
stuff.
a pyrography show at some point this week.
Oh, have we?
Yes.
Nice.
I've never done pyrography, so you're going to
Have
have
you
to
not?
help me.
Oh,
No.
Mel, you're going to love it.
I will love it. When I get round to trying it. So we've got all of these wooden elements for you, the logs now. Earlier on this morning, we launched a little bit of sparkle, and Kath Westwood, who's one of our design team members, made this incredible model with all different wood slices. Have you seen it?
I might have caught a glimpse during
David,
the show.
It's beautiful.
I need to have a proper look.
But think about these, not for your pyrography, but with your rice papers on as door
Oh,
plaques,
they're gonna look
things
great.
like that. They're stunning, aren't they? I love them.
You get
I think
8
they're
pieces in this kit.
and I love the fact that every single one is different.
You can see they're literally from a tree.
They are literally, you can see where it's been cut. It's just, and I love the bark around the outside.
Yeah.
It's so clever, isn't it? So you're getting 2 of the oval ones, 2 of the round ones, and then 2 of your traditional door hangers. These are great for using up your scraps.
They are. Do you know what I'm
Aren't
going
they?
to do with this, though, with that pyrography show? I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to make my house number plaque.
Yes,
And that's going to go at the
perfect.
front door.
There you go.
There you are.
An aquastone.
Yeah, Aquastone it. You've got the
Lovely.
ones that are for your doors, so maybe it's a do not enter, do not disturb, or it could just be craft room.
Or as Matthew had when he was a teenager, toxic keep out.
Toxic keep out, really?
Yeah.
Well, whatever you want to put on it.
Right, 2 wine boxes next.
Yes,
These are
unfortunately they are
lovely.
empty.
That's because you drank them for your
Yeah,
breakfast.
absolutely.
On the way down from dropping your car off in
yeah,
a
I
brown
did.
paper bag like that.
I had the opportunity, I wasn't driving for 5 minutes. So we've got here for you 2 wooden wine boxes. It's a soft wood as well. It works really well with paint. It's thirsty to be decorated. You've got the rope inside here, which is knotted, so you can remove it to make it easier
like
to
the
paint.
rope.
It's great, isn't it? It fits a wine bottle in there perfectly, I will say. But also as well, it doesn't need sand in, it's ready to go. You
Those
get
with
2.
the vintage papers on, they'll look fabulous, wouldn't they?
Gorgeous. I must have decorated about 50 of these, honestly, 50 of them, which means they're out there in the world somewhere because I've always given them away. But they're one of my favourite things to decorate.
Substrates.
Oh, they're just wonderful. I love how they're rounded corners as
Yeah,
well.
I do too.
Because once you've painted and decorated these and you've gifted that bottle, or it could be anything inside here. It could be a little bunch of flowers inside, anything at all really. But it stays out on the side. It doesn't get put away.
This is probably a really stupid question,
No?
but I'm going to ask it anyway. If you aquastoned all of it inside,
You're going to know what you're going
could
to
you
say.
use it as a vase?
Well, I don't see why not. What I would be
Maybe
inclined
I put
to
a
do...
plastic bag inside
plastic
as
bag.
a liner.
I would
One of
put-
those pockets, those clear pockets.
Clear pocket. Oh, yeah, you'd
They'll
be fine
work.
with that. Yeah. I would aquastone it because then any humidity
Yes.
won't soak into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you've sealed it. But then, yeah, you could put a cup or anything down in the
Yeah, you
bottom and
could.
fill it, and it could be a wonderful, quirky vase.
I love that. Well, quirky vase, but quirky vase for a quirky bird.
There we go.
There you go. Right,
Sorted.
so that's your two. Right, anything else that we need to cover off, Amber? Right. No, we haven't done these and we
Ooh,
haven't done the glass
no.
plates either, have
Oh,
we?
no, actually, yeah, let's do that.
This will be a perfect blue for those rice papers.
It goes... I've got that one out
Not
because
that
it
one,
goes...
but the other one, the one that I really love.
Oh, yes, you do. Oh, I know which one you mean.
My
So I don't want to
favourite,
mix...
that one. Oh, kitchen. This is now
Kitchen.
going to be my kitchen. This is what I'm having on my kitchen
Look at
cupboards.
that.
Look at that. I'm going to paint them with this and then put rice papers because they've got like a fancy thing on them.
Yes.
So I'm going to make a template of that. Oh, right. Shop Blue, $23.99 is going to get you 500 mils, half a litre of Cadence hybrid acrylic for $23.99.
It'd be over 30 quid if you were to buy them in
Individual
the 70
bottles.
mils, yeah, because you get 70 mil for $4.99.
Yeah.
So my math isn't quite on point today, but I know that that's going to
Seven
be
bottles at
Se-
£5. 7 5s are 35.
500 mil.
You get how many mils in them?
500.
7 sevens are 49, so that was 7 bottles of 70 will give you 490 mil.
There we go. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there we go. Good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, worked that out really
Good.
well, didn't
Nice
you,
one.
David? That
Thank
was
you, Mel.
brilliant. You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
High
I
five,
just passed
team.
that baton straight on over. So how much was it?
£35.
There you go.
Right, so Shop
more than a
Blue, $23.99. Just to do the black again, I mean, the black is a fabulous one to have, isn't it? If you're base
Yeah.
coating, anything like that, half a litre again, Shop Black, $23.99. Let's just talk about the glass plates quickly, and then I promise we will go back to demo.
Yeah.
But these are a cracking deal. Shop Dish is you're going to get both of these for $9.99.
I know, $9.99.
That's incredible value for money.
For two, I mean, with these rice papers on the back of them, they are just going to look absolutely exquisite.
Look at those.
I mean, you could pick any part of the design to use here. 2 glass plates. One, you get them home, just give them a wipe down, give them a wash to make sure there's no dust or grease, and you have got the most exquisite interior pieces for gifting.
I have a really bonkers question now.
Go on.
What do you think they would look like if you rice papered a light bulb?
So you can rice paper a light bulb as long as it's LED.
Yes,
So yes, absolutely.
that'd look
Because
really
I
cool.
actually, it's funny you should say that. When we were doing the glass painting, I wanted to paint some glass light bulbs. So you know, with certain lamps, the focus of the lamp is to see the bulb,
Yes.
and some it's not. You've got
Yes.
shade on there. But yeah, you could rice paper a bulb. Just make sure it's an LED one. I wouldn't do anything that's higher than about 5 watts because some
No.
LEDs do still get warm. But yeah, don't see why not.
I'm thinking about getting a string of light
Oh,
bulbs and putting them in the garden, all rice papered.
Oh my gosh.
I know, how lovely is that? Do you know what I love about rice paper and products like this is you can put it on all different surfaces.
Yeah, it's not just glass, it's not
No.
just wood, it's plastic, metal, concrete, grey board, terracotta perspex, acrylic, metal, directly onto fabrics that are machine washable. I mean, leather, denim, aprons.
Aprons. Stunning, isn't it? Right, my lovely. Let's go back over to demo and see where we're at, please.
Okay, let's do it. So we started off with the 2 drawers here, and then I can still feel it's ever so slightly damp. What we're going to do is then just add our adhesive to our top drawer here. So I'm just going to fold that over for a second, and our top drawer we're going to add our glue to. Okay. So again, I'm going in with that decoupage adhesive, matte decoupage all the way across the front, and this with A4 designs would of course cost you more, but it's only cost a £5, well less than a £5, because those designs each are just under £5. I mean, it's crazy. So I'm going on with the glue. I know, I can't even believe I'm saying it actually.
I know.
All the way around here, making sure really to get up to those corners. And then now what we need to do is match up that top section, so smooth this one down, and then we're going to give it a quick blast to dry it, and then we can cut into it. So I'm going to make sure that drawer sits flush with the one at the front, and then we're going to fold that up, okay? Just like that. Any creases, just keep manoeuvring it until they're out of there. There you go. And then bring that up again, just here, like that. Match them up so they're at the same height, and I'm just going to fold that over at the top. And then we're going to go back in with our brush and smooth it down. If you do get any creases, you'll find actually by just putting an impression in with your brush, it will iron them out anyway. Okay, it's really, really easy to get rid of those. So then what we need to do now is give it a quick blast with our hairdryer. I'm using a hairdryer rather than a heat gun for this project, and the reason for that is you don't want to actually put it through too high of heat.
We're also being asked, David, for some landscape designs.
Landscape designs, that is also, we have
On the
discussed
list.
that. Yep, absolutely. So landscape as well as portrait. The initial thought process with this one was tall pieces, but landscape is going to be on the way for you as well. So I'm going to go right over here and just give it a quick dry. I'm focusing prominently as well on the edges because that's where we're going to be focusing on actually removing the excess. All the way around here.
Look at that.
And it's honestly so achievable, and anyone can have a go at this.
I love that.
And you can actually paint over it if you didn't like it in the end. I mean, you're never going to not like it, you're going to love it. But you can paint over it if you weren't happy with the design. So never feel that fear of covering a piece of furniture and thinking this is it, this is how it's going to be for the rest of forever. You can go back and change it. Just enjoy the process. But I would start out with something like this, or something you found in the charity shop, something that you may have thought, well, it's seen better days, it needs a paint. That table I've got behind me that I'd like to try and be able to do during the show, I don't know if I will, but I'm going to try. That one I think was £3.
Wow.
So, you know, you can really see.
This is stunning, David. I mean, I was just thinking about nursery furniture. A lot of nursery furniture is cream or white.
Yes.
And then once the baby gets to be a toddler and you change it up, etc., etc., eventually the children leave home and you've got all this furniture. Just rezhuzhing it up is fabulous, isn't it?
Oh,
indeed. With your
indeed.
craft knife.
So, going straight in with the craft knife here.
It's a good job Martin Parker's not here. He'd be cringing, wouldn't he, in the corner?
Oh, did you not like that?
Oh, no, he didn't like knives. He once had a really bad cut and it put him off.
I can
It's
see why
proper
that
funny
would.
about that.
So then I'm going to use my sanding block and I'm going to pull it towards myself like this. And that just takes that edge clean off. Look how crisp that line is there.
Amazing.
So again, round the side. And it just takes it off so easily. Also going to do the bottom of the design just here. And the reason why I did it so that I was actually removing it in sections was that there's a little bit of a gap in between each layer. And that gap is being filled with what print was there. If you were to put, say if you had like a gap like that wide in between each drawer, and you took all the drawer fronts out and bunched them up together and put the design on, when it's spaced out, that butterfly might look weird because it's got a larger gap.
Yeah.
So you're actually eating into the design for a reason.
Yeah, I love that. And imagine going around the edge with your mixie on and your cut and use foam, and then adding your metal flake around the edge.
Oh, wow.
So it looks gilded. Beautiful, aren't they? Rosemary, just check your spelling, darling, on gesso. It's Gesso. Just need to rewrite that in, otherwise it won't pop it into a basket for you, please. Morning, Jonathan. Jonathan's just arrived.
Hi, Jonathan.
Look
Hope
at
you're well.
this.
I know.
I mean, that is literally an inexpensive piece of office furniture, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
And now, look
100%.
how beautiful that is.
And these edges are
Side
coming
of your
together.
bed.
Oh, I know.
I mean, they're just gorgeous, aren't they?
They really are. But it's the ease of use for me, Mel. It's the fact how, you know, I'm doing this whilst I'm stood behind it.
I know, right?
And it's like still easy to do. So we've then got this
Look
one.
at that.
Then our last drawer.
Oh, David, I love this.
And all those handles as well, they can be gilded. So all of these, metal leaf mixie-on, gild them. Because then they go on here. We can, of course, use them with our gilding. So I'm just going to quickly take the edge off. Yes, I was just up there. But you can see how easy it is to get. Not carried away, but enthused with your projects.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I need Stephanie to get more of those white storage boxes we had yesterday because I want to decorate a load for for different rooms in the house. Wendy Corbett says, wow, that looks amazing. Jane Lindsay says, stunning. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? This is what you can be doing at home.
Yes.
There's no tricks. You know, David doesn't go off and do a little trick that he doesn't share with you. He's off to Cadence on Sunday for 3 days of training. Imagine what he's going to come back like. But look at that. I mean, that is just beautiful, David.
I'm so happy with it.
I am so happy. I'm not surprised. Look how glorious.
What, we try and open it again now?
Yeah.
I'll tip it a little bit because I've got my handles inside it.
That is amazing.
There
Look
we
at
are.
that. Charity shop, £10 find, and then your rice
£10
papers.
fine. Yeah.
And to cover that, that has cost you £5
Oh, exactly.
for that rice paper. £5.
Crazy
That's
price.
crazy value for money.
No, I'm not going to sit here and put all the handles
No,
on for you because
no.
you'll see what that looks like. You can visualise that. But I'll put this one here on just loosely. Where's my screwdriver? There we are.
Everyone's coming in saying, beautiful, David, stunning.
It's
But
just...
you can achieve this
Yes, you
in the
can.
comfort of your own home. I adore that.
I
And then
do
you
as
could
well.
crackle it, aqua varnish it.
That's the next step, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the bit next. You've done the easy bit, and then you do the exciting bit, which is then you crackle and your finishes.
And then if you change your decor, you just go over it.
Honestly,
Isn't that beautiful?
you've then got pieces of actual furniture
I love that.
in your home that you're decorating. It's tremendous. You're going to love it. You're going to be obsessed with it. But then, think about all the paints. We could then go around here and paint it. We're going to gloss the front, and I'm going to keep going with this because this, I'm hoping, is going to take pride of place somewhere, whether it's under my desk or somebody's. Because look at this. I can fill it with all rice papers then, can't I?
You can, yeah.
I've got a reason. It's my rice paper
Yeah, you could have a
drawer.
rice
But
paper
look how
cupboard.
that's transformed it.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And it's got lovely crisp edges to it as well. It just makes the difference. Sorry? Yes, it would. The gold handles, I think we need to gild the handles. They would
Yeah,
look
I
really
think
nice.
so
Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry this off the table whilst
I'm
no
going
one's
to do a
watching.
recap. No, I'm going to do a recap of the papers because you do not want to miss out on these. These are absolutely exquisite. We do have a download for you. So if you're somebody that wants to print out your own papers, now, I would use these as rice paper, but also as regular paper. So I print them off on 140 GSM Pure Print or your premium Pure Print. Use them on your MDF. All these different wonderful, wonderful designs. Brand new artwork for you today here. You're getting 60 designs and you're paying 50 pence per design. This is shop download and it's $29.99. How exquisite are these papers? I mean, they're just glorious, aren't they? Absolutely glorious. And the time and effort that goes into designing things like this is really quite extraordinary. So you're getting a fantastic deal there. Shop download $29.99. Right, so let's go through these rice papers once more and then we'll go back to David once he's ready. So these are all $19.99 and you're getting 4 designs. How beautiful is that? It's just stunning, isn't it? In a bathroom, that and on a cabinet in the bathroom, that would look absolutely amazing. So you've got that one, and then you've also got this one on the other side, and it's got like the wooden boards that have been shabbily painted and sanded back. I love the detail in the background with the ship and the rocks, and then all the net down here and the rope. It's just, every time you look at them, you're going to see something else. They're incredible designs. I remember I was sat downstairs when Sam came down with the artwork and everyone just went, oh, Sam, literally in unison because they're absolutely exquisite. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? And the element of the map in the corner, the little compass down at the bottom, just the little bit of the map down here, and then your compass is a big piece at the top. But it's all the extra little elements that you see inside these designs. So those 2 papers, so the 4 designs, shop vintage, $19.99. The price on this is absolutely crazy. This is my favourite one. Just wonderful. Look how pretty that is. If you got those white boxes yesterday and you know somebody that's getting married, a bridal box for the morning of her wedding with maybe a champagne glass in and a little bottle of champagne, some beauty elements, an eye mask, all that kind of thing, that would look gorgeous. But maybe you've got a room that's in those colours and you just want storage boxes, things like that. I mean, these are just exquisite, aren't they? This is your other one on the side of that, on that one. Oh, they're just... There's no words to explain how incredibly beautiful these are. These are the nicest ones I think we've ever done. Then we've got your peacock in there as well. Now imagine that with your foil and your metal leaf on there, and then aquastoned over the top. You could just aquastone the peacock, couldn't you? And it would look like it was enamelled. That would be a lovely look as well. And then on the other side, you've got those beautiful lupins and the pansies there at the bottom with the ruffled peonies in between and the wisteria coming down from the top. Just incredibly clever design. So that one is Shop Floral, and that will get you those four for $19.99. Then we've got the Dream, Shop Dream, which gives you the hydrangea. I mean, the clarity of colour on that is really quite extraordinary. I could sit and watch that printer for hours and hours and hours. It fascinates me, and it's fast as well, which is incredible. Then you've also got the beautiful peonies on the other side as well, quite vintage with that one. Go and buy some inexpensive frames from the charity shop. Get your crackle glaze over that with some wax or painting, like David said earlier, your liquid waxes. They're going to look like they're really old, like they come out of a vintage stately home. So you're going to get those. This is the one that David's just done on those drawer fronts. Now, if they get to here and they're a little bit creased, there's not a lot we can do about that, but you can iron them. So make sure that you iron them and then roll them, and as David said, put them in a Pringles tube. That's a great shout,
Eat the Pringles first.
Eat the Pringles first. Yeah, you don't want to waste Pringles, do you? Never mind getting grease on your rice papers. You can't waste Pringles, they're too good. Shop Dream, $19.99. We'll get that. Now I need Pringles now, David. Thanks for that.
Oh, Pringles.
And then Shop Afternoon. I think we might have to see if they've sold decent scones somewhere around here.
I think so.
And then you've got these, which are the afternoon tea ones we bought you the other week, but in A2. They're just gorgeous, aren't they? That's your other side. Like that. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then these are your final two of those rice papers from the afternoon tea. So this one is Shop Afternoon with your beautiful florals in there. And then when we turn that one round, you've got that lovely scene of that little tea shop. Or it could be a craft shop. It could be whatever you want it to be. But I think they're absolutely stunningly beautiful. Don't miss out on these. Now, these are printed in-house on our big fabric printers, so they will not bleed. You can put support water on them. They will not bleed. So you're guaranteed that you're getting that perfection. Right, David, are you ready?
Yeah, I am.
Are you ready?
I was just laughing to myself.
Why were you laughing?
Flapping papers everywhere.
You were flapping.
So I wanted to show you a few things, actually. We're going to try and do 2 more projects.
Phil Watson. Hi, Jane,
Phil.
from a newbie. Welcome, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
It's only my second day watching. Oh, well, welcome to the family, Phil. You're going to have a great time here. We get a little bit naughty now and again and a bit random, don't we? Especially when me and David are together.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of fun. So welcome, Phil. It's nice to have Amanda there as well, right?
Absolutely,
Unless you're Philomena.
Maybe Philomena, yeah. Absolutely.
Let us know, please.
Yeah, let us know.
Then we're addressing you properly.
Yeah, we don't want to get anything wrong.
Hope you're enjoying, Phil, and welcome to the Highlight family, says Jane Lindsay. Oh, honestly, our friends and family at home are just so amazing.
Oh, indeed.
So amazing.
Right, so we've actually got a box of paints here for you.
We have. Shop Winter.
These are a wonderful kit of paints, okay? Now these ones for you, there's 5 70ml bottles inside here. I'm using the Camelot, okay, from in here, and I've chose this particular box set because they are really indulgent, but they go with lots of other designs of paper.
Yeah.
And
they'd be good for your Christmas as well, won't they?
They would, yeah, but the Camelot's a favourite colour of mine.
Okay.
The coverage as well, I wanted to share that with you because this, it's a piece of pine furniture, next to nothing in price, but it's scratched, it's quite old. All I've done with it is use a sugar soap, thoroughly washed it, given it a full clean down and then let it dry, okay? I'm going to take some of that Camelot here out onto my mat and we're going to start painting with it. I'm using a flat brush to do so. It's 1 coat coverage.
You had a panic yesterday, didn't you, because you thought you'd lost your palette?
Oh, I was in despair.
Just wasn't looking properly.
When you're going onto furniture, you want to do thin, even coats, okay? So you literally tap in the brush with it, okay? Letting it dust onto the surface.
Okay.
And that means you're not going to get any brush strokes. So small amounts of paint, thinly applied, so you're not creating any drips, any marks. And you can see there, I have got a full coat coverage with that paint. It doesn't need a second coat. It's going on instantly.
That's amazing.
It's incredible, honestly.
I knew it was good, but that's a varnish table, right?
It's a varnish table. I've not actually sanded this either.
Wow.
Because it felt, the varnish on it is obviously quite old and it's worn off. It's got a few mug stains on it, but they've cleaned up. But that's okay. We can paint over it. But look at this. Now this table for us, it means it's wipeable. It's going to seal it in. It's getting rid of all of those scuffs and scratches. If there's any major damage to the furniture, then yeah, absolutely, you can give it a sand. But this way, you're like burnishing the paint on, and it gives a flawless coat to it.
Phil says he's followed my craft studio for years, and once I found out Highlight Crafts had taken it on, I had to investigate. Phil, it's always been Stephanie's product, that. It's just that we went from iHub, Innovation Hub, where we were the product developers for Create and Craft, to Highlight Crafts, which is still our family-run business, which is wonderful. So yes, welcome. David, can you please ask Cadence for flesh tones, please?
Absolutely. Sue Turner. Absolutely, Sue. Indeed. If there's anything else anybody would like me to request or ask for, please get that in the comments as I'm going. I'd love to be able to get them all in. I know, right?
Where's it go? Is that 3 weeks gone since you found out you were going?
I don't know, actually.
It's flown by,
all of a
hasn't
sudden, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's
Sunday.
happened. It's
going
happening.
On Sunday.
Yeah, Luke said to me, he was like, what we're doing this weekend? I was like, well, I'm flying to... He was like, you this weekend? I was
I
like,
know, right?
Yeah. He was like, oh. I was like, okay, you also didn't let
Listen.
that sink in. So what I've done is I've painted the front of that. Now, this is going to dry incredibly fast for us as well.
That's amazing.
But that's gone straight onto that furniture. Isn't it just bonkers?
That is bonkers. I don't think I've ever seen that done before, and that just shows you the quality. The quality of that paint is extraordinary.
We're covering furniture.
Oh, I'm going to paint all my bedroom furniture.
You have to.
Kitchen cupboards. Well, I'm going to use the mild blue on my kitchen cupboards and get those florals involved.
Look how far it's going.
That's amazing. And you haven't used any more paint out of that bottle so far?
Nope, I'm still using the same blob that we started with. The same blob. Technical term, that one, I'm afraid.
It is.
So you're going to find that with a 70ml pot, I've not even used a quarter of this bottle to do this piece of furniture.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is a little bit bonkers. Now, with this pigmentation, it's a fully water-based paint, but just look at that. It's going to dry in minutes. Yeah. It's honestly... It spreads so far as well, and it's not thin. The paint as well, It's a thick consistency, which means you get that full pigmentation. I think it'll just about do it for us with what we put out. It was just the right amount.
David, well judged.
Look at that. So the drying time on this, you might be thinking you're going to have to leave this for a while. With a hairdryer, it'll be about 30 seconds to a minute. Okay?
Okay, not long at all then.
Give it a quick blast. As I'm going over here, you'll see how fast this dries because it goes semi-matte, okay?
You can see it there.
So semi-matte with this. And if you can see imperfections, that's because it's not all dry, okay? You want to let it all fully dry. Okay. And I'm doing this before I move it so I don't pick any up and travel it anywhere else around the studio.
Or all out for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
That won't be good either.
But honestly, it is just flawless. The paint is amazing. So we've got a piece of furniture ready for rice paper and we've painted it, okay? Just going to make sure to blast that a little bit further. If you've got time as well, if you're not rushing, you can literally leave your project to dry at your own leisure. You don't need it to dry quicker. Like I say, room temperature, it'll be dry in a couple of minutes. But this is just...
Amber, it's like that. Amber, can I just give you the iPad because it's going to die and they'll need it for the next show. You were fascinated that you were properly involved in that then, weren't you? Properly involved. I love that.
Definitely.
Oh, what's that? Cobwebs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it here.
Oh! Don't stick to me, paint.
I love that. That's cool.
Definitely from a charity shop.
Yeah, definitely from a charity shop. Yeah, absolutely. Love that.
So that there is nice and dry for us. So we've got this wonderful purple colour on here.
That's incredible. It's like a dusty mauve, isn't it? It's not a purple or a pink. Here, love. Please don't pick up that cup of coffee and drink it, because that will be hilarious. I'll sort that out. Honestly.
It's fine.
I'm going to change your middle name to Stephanie, because that's the sort of thing that Stephanie would have done.
Oh, if there's a place to pop it, it goes. Right.
Here we go. We managed. We managed 1 hour and 37 minutes, and now it's starting.
It's you guys.
Please don't drink that cup of coffee, David, whatever you do.
I won't do. No. Okay, so furniture. We're now going to use the tabletop. Now, this is a half moon table, okay? And believe it or not, the span of the rice paper is the exact
the right size.
Thank
Wow.
goodness for that.
I know, I saw that breath of relief, that sigh of relief then. It was like, thank goodness for that.
We're cooking. Right, okay, so what we're going to do is go in with our glue. Again, now you can again gild that paper, do whatever you want to. But I painted the trim of this white, and that's because I want to gild all of that with our metal leaf bundle.
Amazing.
Okay, but we probably don't have time to do that during the show, but I am going to do it at some point.
I'm thinking about asking if we can do them at like wardrobe door sizes.
I know. Basically, like a beach
How
towel.
wonderful would that be?
Yes, I would love that. And it is possible, but we just want to know, would you want them? Okay.
Well, I want them.
I would
I'm
love
going to
them.
put a special order in and I get all my bedroom done.
Rice paper in your entire front door.
There's
All the highlighters have rice paper front doors.
Our front door needs doing at the moment.
Well, I painted mine with Cadence and it's lasted really well. In fact,
you
it doesn't
did.
even need painting again. We put off buying a new front door because, my goodness, why are they so expensive?
Right.
I painted it and it's lasted really well, so much so that when family came around, they actually thought we'd got a new front door.
Wow.
But I'm going straight on here with that glue again, all the way around, over the edge. I'm not too fussy if I've got glue on that edge, but it doesn't matter. And then what I'm going to do is take the hydrangeas. I'm using it as a landscape design in this one, so you can, of course, make them vertical or landscape. This one also here works really well as landscape on its side with the flowers tumbling over. I'm going to use that on the lampshade.
Lovely.
So this one, I'm now going to take, and I'm going to utilise most of the floral area, well, as much as I can do. Take it up to the paper, line it up with your edges. So I've got that there, and then just straighten that out, making sure I've got it as far over as possible. I want to go a little bit further to the left. There we are, until we're just at the right point. And
look at Lucy's gone wrangle.
oh, sorry, do you want me to go
like
a bit further down?
Mountain.
Is that okay? I can go on the floor if you'd prefer.
Oh, steady on.
There we go.
Can you imagine Amanda trying to do that? She'd be stood on the stepper.
She'd be stood on the table.
The stepper. Stand on the table. And you answer that, I'm not much taller.
I'm taking the paper off whilst it's still wet. Now, that's a personal preference. You can actually sand this off once it's dry. I prefer to do it whilst the paper's slightly damp. I find that it tears away a little bit easier. It's a bit friendlier. And you get a nicer result, I think. But you may find that with different surfaces like glassware, you might want to let it dry.
Well, while it's still damp, you're then really polishing it onto that surface, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So I'm going to go around here like that. And look at how it's just going to come away.
It's so forgiving, isn't it?
Beautiful. Hold the rice paper down. So I'm going edge to edge here. Just gently push away any areas that you might want to stay. There we go. So I'm just gliding side to side. There's a few notches in the table here where it's got a bit of aging or character to it, let's say. So we're just going to work into that.
I love that. Character.
Yeah, character. It's got character, has it? There we go. So all the way around here. I'm going to try and do it all in one go. Not being ambitious or anything, but let's...
Like peeling that apple again.
I know, right? There we go. Then we can actually take this away, that little bit there, close to that edge.
There you go.
Remove that one off. Look at that. Oh,
Good job,
look at
David.
this. And then we've got our brush with our glue. Don't need much at all, but you want to go around the entire edge now. And you're going to lock in all of those fibres, because as you tear rice paper, it feathers out. So on here, on the area that's torn, look at how the edge, it's a clean cut, but it has a slight fuzz. If you tear into it like this, you get all the little fibres. So technically, there's these teeny tiny little hairs, fibres popping out from the edge of that paper. We want to lock all that in, because at any point, if this gets scuffed, that's what's going to go first. So we're going to avoid that from happening. All the way over that edge, locking in the paper, all the way around here. And then if we wanted to gild the trim of the paper, the trim of the table, sorry, afterwards, what I would do is I'd add a fine layer of masking tape over here so that none of your gilding wants to stick to your paper design. Okay. And that's how I would do it, or create a template to just mask it off. There we go. So I'm going to go all the way over with it now, and then we're going to aquastone.
Could you gild it first?
You could gild it first. I was actually going to do that, but then I thought,
Yeah,
okay.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what my initial plan was, to gild it first. And you wouldn't need to paint the underneath of it white, but I thought if I don't have time for it, it looks nicer that it's painted.
It does. Absolutely.
But you could go in with anything, absolutely anything. So that's now all sealed in for us. So we've got our beautiful table with our rice paper top.
Look at that.
And then it's all painted with our wooden framing.
That's stunning, David.
Now there's a few other things you can do. If you wanted to then
love
carry that shabby chic theme, you could dry brush all of the legs and you could really antique them. If you want to do that, I'll show you on one of the legs. A really quick technique, and I'm going to do it very, very quickly, but not in a process that means it's not achievable, but it's really nice. Now you can use a hybrid for this, or you can use a style matte paint. Tiny bit of paint, hardly anything.
We're donating that palette to the Tape Modern, aren't we?
We are. It's been slightly it's been swarmed by Camelot at the minute, so it needs some more colour on there. I need to get my metallics out. Tiny bit of white, okay, and dust it off like this. So you've got hardly anything on there. Now, it's going to look lovely on these ridges, but just test it first, make sure there's not too much on, and you can go in and just start dusting like this, okay?
Wow.
That's going to pick all the notches out. I'm using a really dry brush for this.
And you're holding it at the end, aren't you, and letting it just be loose?
Absolutely, yes. So I'm just letting the brush sit in anywhere it needs to. You can use a sponge for this as well, but remember with a sponge, if you press down hard, you're going to get full coverage, and we don't want that.
Better.
So it feels like sometimes you're hardly putting anything on, but trust me, you are. It's a really fine dusting, okay? Look at that. Bring it down the legs.
That's fabulous. You've got to be patient, haven't you, with dry brushing?
Yeah, you can use a cloth. If you want to use a cloth, you can use a little rag with paint on.
I love it. No, I like that flat brush. That's brilliant for dry brushing.
So,
and of course, you're not working at the angle that David's going to be working. That David's working at right now. He's nearly upside down there, kid.
Also, what you could do is, because this paint is painted it, well, some of it this morning, some of it last night. It's not cured yet, so you can go in with your sanding block and you can scrape it back in areas like this.
Oh, I love that.
So see here.
Oh.
So we start to go in and we're scraping it back. Now remember, you've only got a working period of about 48 hours to be able to do this before it starts to really bond, and then you're really going to struggle to get it off. And if you were going to leave it longer, you could put the transparent wax underneath. Yeah. But bring it down, and then if you go in with your white, transparent wax, you can then go over the top with the white.
Oh, David, that's
and start to really shabby it together.
I love that.
Imagine this. Visualize this all over that table on the areas where it would get wear and tear. That's your most natural point of aging. On here as well. Just a little line.
I love that.
Just here. On the top, you feel like, oh, that wonderful painting you've just done, but
no,
if you want it to have that effect,
it changes the look and feel of it completely, doesn't it?
It really does.
Absolutely love it.
It's so fun to do, honestly. When you start shabby chicing it all together, look at that, how you just knock it back on all those edges. And then you can aquastone it afterwards, okay? So you do your aquastone. If you want it to be a crisp colour, leave it as it is, but that's a real tiny insight. So I'm going to set this here to dry.
There we are. That fits in boot in my car, that, David.
I reckon.
Yeah, that's lovely.
But of course you can go in full force, but also where the white is there, might look quite nice to...
It's on that back. Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Right.
Sorry, I'm getting carried away here.
That's all right. We'll get you the vacuum out after, don't worry.
Oh yeah, there is that. Where's our Henry at? There we go.
Get Henry out the cupboard. Yeah, that's amazing. And then you could also rice paper at the bottom level as well, couldn't you?
Absolutely. Well, you could stencil that bit if you wanted.
Yeah, you could. Oh, stencil it look lovely.
Right, you can pop that in my coffee.
I'll tell you what will be really nice. You know those metallic rice papers that we got from Cadence that had all like the Parisian labels on it? One of those. Because you can rice paper over rice paper, can't you?
Yeah, you can. You can layer upon layer. Absolutely. Rice papers are the foundation of the layer.
Stunning, isn't it?
We have light. Well, a lampshade.
Let there be light. And there was.
For this one, what I've got here is a fabric drum lampshade. Super inexpensive. You could use any lampshade for this. But what I'm going to do is I've got the rice paper and I've trimmed off that bottom edge. Now, when you're going over a lampshade, what you want to do is always go over the edge about 3 to 4 millimeters, because that'll be the rolled over edge, and it makes it look like it's part of the shade itself. I'm not going to do the entire shade because we are limited on time, and I may only just get started. What I'm going to do here is match it up so I can see.
Look at that.
It's It's going to look really nice. And we're not going to paint it. We do not want to add any paint to this fabric because we still want the light to shine through.
I want to redecorate my whole house.
It's one of those things, isn't it, that when you get started...
It's just lovely.
So I'm going to find the edge here. So if I hold this towards you, you can see the width that I need to be working with. So we don't want to waste any of this. So slightly larger than the lampshade. We want to just do a little fold, just there like that, okay? Set this to one side for the moment. And then to make it super easier. Super easier?
Super easier.
What does that even mean, David?
Positive that. Super easier.
Super easier. Fold it flush like that. Okay, now you could try tearing on here, but I always like to use scissors, or you could do a water tear, but I want a fine line. So I'm just going to quickly trim it, cut it to size, and look at that, we've now created just basically an oblong of flowers. And that takes out that text as well, which made us a little bit confused with it being landscape.
Yeah.
There we go, because we don't retext at the side, it makes it still as heads. There we go. So we've cut that away, and then we're going to work with fabric decoupage glue for this process. So for this one, you're going to get your fabric decoupage, either in your 120 or from your Magic Bond and Seal kit. Put something inside the hairdryer put something inside the lampshade that's heavy, like a hairdryer, and stop it rolling.
Oh, clever.
Okay, it's just going to stop it moving around so much. Don't put anything in your hairdryer.
No, please don't.
Please don't do that.
Especially not your fingers.
I can remember when I went to a hotel with my partner, and it was a wonderful hotel in Liverpool, and I picked up the hairdryer to use it and it exploded, and all of the fan inside it had perished, and all of the plastic shattered and flew all into my face. I was absolutely fine, like it was not an issue. Like I was like, oh my goodness, I was scared that I broke that hairdryer. I was more terrified for that, so I'm really scarily ringing them up on the phone like, I'm really sorry, I've broke the hairdryer. It's exploded in my hand. Inundated with people flooding the room. Are you okay? I've got a paramedic there. I'm sat there like, I just want to kill me quiff. We got every half an hour a bottle of Prosecco turned up at the door.
Wow.
I was like, it's fine.
Yeah, that's the age we live in, where everybody sues everybody for the...
I was ringing up to say sorry.
That's brilliant.
So yeah, don't put anything in your hairdryer.
No, please don't do that.
So I'm going onto the fabric here with the decoupage glue. Now what this will do is lock into the fibres, okay? It is transparent, but it's like a gel formula, okay? Now, start off with one edge like this, and then again, pick up that paper. You can see, of course, where it is on the surface. It's got a nice shimmer to it until it's set. Smooth it down, and then again, get some of that dry cut and use sponge, okay? And use it to smooth it onto your fabric, because you're going to push it into all of the fibres, okay? Create that impression and push it in. Now we left these areas here at the top because we're going to roll those over like that, so it's going to look really nice and smooth, and it's going to look like it's actually designed that way. Yeah. So curl it back on itself and continue to add your glue, and you're going to do it in partitions, in sections, okay? Making sure to keep your hairdryer in there. There we go. With the brush again. And I'm using a flat brush instead of a sponge for the glue application, and there's a reason why. If you use a sponge for this, you're going to be pushing quite hard, and you don't want that sponge to soak up adhesive. The brush is pushing the adhesive, okay? With paint, it works differently with a sponge, because the more you push, it'll squeege out of it. The glue, it kind of locks in there a little bit. So there's ways in which you can work to the strengths of your applicators. So again, carry that up a little bit, smooth it down. Okay, get your sponge, push it in.
That cutting sponge has so many different uses, doesn't it?
Oh, it really does. It's crazy how many things you actually use it for when you realise.
For the price.
That cobweb, how did that come back?
Following you.
Where does that come
put it in
from?
The bin and then it's out your way.
There we go. So a little bit more glue. I'm just going to keep sealing it down as we go, making sure really to go up to those edges as well. We're going to seal all the edges afterwards. Move along a little bit further. There we go, curl it back on itself, and again, continue with this. Then I would use my other section that I've tore off or cut away to continue the whole shade itself. And then you could go in here with gesso, you could go in here with loads of different mediums to do some blending on top of it. If you wanted to add the embossing powder gilding effect, do that before it's gone onto the shade, because you don't want to add heat to this because it's plastic. There we are, a little bit further down. And then to finish it off, I'm going to make sure the glue goes all the way up to that edge. There we are, like this. Okay, so paste it all over here. Oh dear, I've lost a blob. There we are. And then on my actual paper, on the edge, I'm going to seal that down.
And you can pick up light fixings like this really inexpensively, can't you? So if you can't find the right one for your home to match everything that you've just made, Make your own. This
Oh,
is
make
great.
your own. Absolutely make your own. Now, what you're then gonna do is, with some glue, pop some out onto your mat like this. Okay, a little bit, and then you want to go around all of the inside edge. So take that brush with that glue on and run it across the top trim of that shade.
Okay.
Just like that, with your hand facing the side of the rice paper. There we go, all the way around, just using glue for this part. You're not using anything else, just your brush and the glue. And then your hands are going to be the best tools for this, is roll it over with the palm of your hand like that. And it's literally going to mould to the shape of the top of that. Okay, and then you can go over that with that brush to seal all of that in. Makes it incredibly smooth, incredibly slick, but also the most professional top finish.
Even if you did a couple of cushions for your bed, that in your bedroom, and then the boxes, these square or round boxes to match, it just looks magnificent.
Look at that.
David. Isn't that amazing?
That lit up is going to look beautiful.
Oh, it is.
Gild it. You could still go on with your gilding, just not your embossing powder in here because it's now on the lampshade. You don't want to warp it, but that's going to look wonderful lit from the inside.
That's incredible. Right, we've got 43 seconds left.
Wow.
Can I just say a huge thank you, Dave, because
No,
that
thank you.
has been an inspirational couple of hours. I think you'll agree. Do not miss out on these brand new A2. First time we've ever done A2. It's right, isn't it? First time?
First time.
Printed in-house, they're costing you £5 per design. $19.99 will get you each of those options, and we've got the download available for you as well at $29.99, where you're getting 60 brand new designs. Now, Midweek Mayhem coming up next with Diane and Hannah.
You're joking.
I'm not. I'm going to go
excited.
get some food because I'm starving. Make sure you tune into that, because Mayhem may ensue. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.